Yeah, kind of the lone Preecha main at this point. Everyone knows that she was kind of the beta sweetheart. Everyone was in love with the Rekka series and the different setups. Supergrenas, kind of the only player just kind of sticking to making it work.
But already going into the overhead, that burn knuckle already off rip with Ruben right now, but instead off the defense, get you with the tackle and down to the ground.
That was a hard read there to bust out the power dump. But when you're playing with house money with this massive life lead, I understand the call here. And this is where kind of Preecha struggles when she's playing at a life deficit. Not a lot of options to go ahead and still neutral as Ruben continues to pour it on. But wake up DP to try to get the party started. Right back at you, says Ruben.
To get you with that back turn elbow, not gonna lie, non-factor. It's so tempting to just call stand roundhouse just the stand heavy kick, because I'm like, all right, Terry from Street Fighter 6. No, wrong game, but technically right.
You're waiting for those burn knuckles to go ahead and steal some plus frames on them.
I'm saying, it's what I'm so used to, but instead off the tackle again. And now just find yourself in the corner. Knee overhead to get you in turn. Ruben though, off the counter, get that crouch.
When in doubt, match it out, says Supergrenas, going with the Rekka series, has the ignition gear, gonna cash out to get Ruben out of SPG, and barely inside of SPG is Supergrenas. And if you watch Supergrenas play before, they love to just let those random SPGs go out on cue, as I say so.
Man, getting the guaranteed kill here. Overheat be damned. Supergrenas saw the window, completely took it. Now in the final round of first match here. Getting started, but neutral game going into it off the geysers though.
Still game jumping over the fireballs. Wild punish there. Gonna get a full conversion into the Rekka series. Into the corner go. Do we see a needy fireball setup? We're gonna go ahead and cash out with the damage. I like the call.
Absolutely, Ruben would have SPG available though, but Supergrenas already had ignition switch. Now the just defense, getting the jump knee, guard break in turn, and now already the combo. And get nasty with it. Wait, surely, okay, what to say, does not kill, at least for now. Back elbow able to save you, and Ruben, pressure out of the corner, go for the fireball to jump in. Now working out in your favor.
Yeah, and if you watch Supergrenas before, this is exactly how they like to play. Massive life lead. They kind of, you know, they lame it out. No shame in their game. If it works, do not fix it. They don't turn to the fireball too much. You're just kind of waiting for a big swing so they can really rip out that red blow and go for that final hit.
Just trying to find these twisters, especially in the neutral game, completely close it out. Already getting with the ignition switch. Big damage against Supergrenas here. Find another ground fireball, increase the game.
Playing the plasma war here, and Supergrenas just milking the lead, almost down to 15 seconds. A big time jumping is going to land for Ruben here. Has an ignition gear of their own. If they choose to send it out, the power geyser is going to be enough to close it out. Ruben somehow being able to make that work with just a sliver of health, taking the first game over Supergrenas.
And we figured that ladder matches would have some complete shenanigans, but for Ruben to be able to come back like that, I mean, in stunning fashion, I will say, had me a little scared, right? Supergrenas was just right there, one combo away from taking you out in the corner, but Ruben said, I hope you're bulletproof, because personally for me, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, and that's one thing Terry also received, is I believe they got some damage buffs in this last patch, so definitely putting it on display there, finishing off with the ignition gear. Ruben looking optimal as ever, but Supergrenas trying to get the party started early here with the red blow, gets the throw to put Ruben into the corner, and there's the meaty fireball setup we were talking about earlier.
I want to force adjust defense because this damage in corner like this off the Rekka combo, not pretty to see, not even pretty to have happen to you, but Supergrenas absolutely doesn't care. 15 hit damage. Adjust defense, tried to grab, but able to neutral jump out of it for Ruben.
There's a big time wild punish there, does have the ignition gear to choose to spin. We're gonna go for the side switch. Looks like they're trying to go for a stage jump situation. Supergrenas is gonna press anyways, and now we're turning it into a scramble here, Ash.
Already getting a little scary with it, maybe attempting the fireball, but have to clear the gap. Gets hit with one picture, maybe two. Ignition gear. Please picture through your paces. Back elbow.
Yeah, it's such a good wake-up option now. I believe in the patch notes it went from an 8-frame startup to a 6-frame startup, if I am correct. So that thing is definitely a hairpin trigger. But speaking of which, the hairpin trigger gets pulled by Supergrenas jumping over the power wave. Sniping it out, it's enough to kill by the skin of their teeth getting around.
It's a little scary with it. I mean, Ruben probably expecting just a full forward push dedicated to the power wave, but Supergrenas read through it to commit right over, and now try to grab again. Ruben getting a little risky with it, but now jump into the heavy kick into that forward throw, keep you in the corner for the frame loop. Make it a second one.
Yeah, so nice. We'll show it twice. Almost out of SPG now is Ruben. Supergrenas is letting the red blow go, knowing Ruben could react to it, but no one was home on that one. We're going to go fully optimal here. Might not even need a super. That's all she wrote. Supergrenas looking super optimal. One game apiece.
into a perfect game at that one. 1-1 right now between Ruben and Supergrenas. And moving forward, okay, I have a strange feeling this might possibly go 2-2 and then maybe 3-2 after that. In favor of who? I'm not going to commentator curse it. I'm going to just shut my mouth, because if I speak, I'm in trouble.
There you go. That's a hard lesson to learn over on this side of the game. But massive shout out for the extra $5 from Dr. Sauce into the Matcherino pot there. Very, very much appreciate that. I'm sure Supergrenas and Ruben definitely appreciate that. I'm sure they're vying for that top 8 spot, trying to get some of this cash. Ruben right there with the jump back, punishing the Reblo attempt from Supergrenas. 50% down early.
But already that crouch being completely knocked out of it. Supergrenas even to confirm into the combo. Almost another 15 hit piece, 11 hit piece, excuse me, coming right up. And that forward throw, no biscuit included here.
Yeah, it's such a good option to go for the throw when your opponent is just kind of one throw away from being outside of SPG. It's a safe option if they choose to go for the Reblo on Wake Up. Oh my goodness, what a confirm into the ignition here from Supergrenas.
Gosh, I swear the hurtbox on that kick just enough, just an edge to get the ignition switch guarantee. For Supergrenas right now, already up by 1 round. Throw game again. And honestly, Ruben's been a little vulnerable, but for switch, word for word, bar for bar. And of course, burn knuckle into overhead.
In the corner now, not where Supergrenas wants to be, but just jumping right out for free, and so is Ruben just to JD. Go ahead and counter that cross-up attempt, but Supergrenas find himself stuck in the corner at this point. The defense kind of on point as they keep jumping in and getting these JDs.
Man, especially able to close this neutral game as quickly as you are coming in from Supergrenas off the twisters, but for Ruben, can say the same here. Try that roundhouse, but no, another twister coming your way. Now being forced to play a defensive game.
Yeah, it seems like both. Oh, dude, big time wild punish in the middle of Supergrenas. As the ignition gear on deck could try to get Ruben out of SPG. Might be just enough if they choose to burn it. They will. Survey says they're out of it.
No SPG available, but that will at least be the air down to ground. Of course, jumping the bait out the throw. And for Supergrenas, a little worse for wear here. Ruben able to take another round.
Yeah, and coming into the final round as well with 2 bars of super already built up off rip, that SPG sitting in the middle. You can end up there just after 1 combo, so we might see the hidden gear for some optimal damage at some point.
Probably so. Now, the twister coming your way, trying to close the gap, but take 1 knee to the face. Instead, elbow for your troubles again, coming in off of Supergrenas into another confirm. The combo ender, forward throw.
All right, halfway through SPG now, and as we pointed out, that throw is such a good option to counter the wake-up Reblo if there is, but not a counter to the wake-up DP break. Cashing out with 1 bar of supers, Ruben to get Supergrenas at SPG.
Gosh, we're seeing the throw again, but these twisters, and honestly, I see Ruben just primed and ready, trying to go for these power waves, but no, rev engage. And now, about the run-in, might have risked it a little too soon. Supergrenas already just on the offensive again, with the jump back to save you.
Yeah, with the supers on deck as well, both players could just be 1 hit away right there. We see Supergrenas get the confirm into the Rekka series. No ignition needed. Up 2-1 on Ruben.
Man was confident in not even needing the ignition in the first place. Grenas with a 2-1. We can see Ruben just trying to close the gap, especially off of priming the majority of those power waves. But Supergrenas seeing that, it's like, okay, I understand. Those to hit me, not going to work out in your favor whatsoever. Just sit back, relax, play the patient game instead.
Yeah, that's one thing that comes Supergrenas.
Of course, just have to see Supergrenas just a hyper-aggressive Preecha in the first place. It already has that SPG available based on placement, but now, that jump in, the heavy kick, not gonna work out though. Instead, find a twister, close that gap a little too quickly.
Yeah, Ruben right there, just it's the moment voluntarily giving up some space there, got washed back with not too much action happening. Supergrenas gonna make him pay for it. Maybe about almost 50% down to start things out.
Crouch, but no, back elbow once, twice, maybe 3 times into the shoulder bash. But no, Supergrenas responds in turn. Just a quick little combo, nothing too serious. But a little more if you are in Ruben's position right now.
Yeah, SPG with your back to the wall. Not where you want to be at all. You have the ignition gear to back it up, but not going to have a chance to see it. Supergrenas with the frame traps to go ahead and close it out. 1 round away from taking a 3-1 dub over Ruben. See if Ruben has anything to say about it.
Have we seen this before where Ruben is able to get the comeback, but already that round start overhead to get the feint. After Supergrenas respond in turn, up tackle. Not going to work in your favor. And now just have to eat the combo.
Oh, just mashing it out. I like the call from Ruben to get themselves some space, but right back into the corner they go, and Supergrenas has done such a good job of just sneaking in these throws for the extra damage.
and has to force switch to really just try and pressure out of corner. But for Ruben, honestly, kind of tackling and how this is going to work out well in the aftermath. In the power wave, but no, instead, a little too serious with it. Burn Knuckle, get the switch again.
And the table's just turned on Supergrenas right now. In the corner, does have Super to back themselves up. Ruben with that fireball, the anti-air. I love the bait to try to force a jump from Supergrenas there.
Hell, it was a smart move, but Supergrenas already finding another combo off of it, just back in the corner. And now, this might kill. I'm gonna be very real with you. Almost kills. That's nasty.
They'll even have to kill with the red line gear there. Supergrenas is optimal as ever. A 3-1 win over Ruben. Pretty hard fought at that one. A back and forth match, but Supergrenas just showing that veteran presence. They've been around for a while. Look calm, cool, and collected even in the scrambles.
This Preecha is, I'm not gonna lie, kind of starting to scare me. No wonder I've been seeing a little too much of her in rank. I can't lie.
So, see how this one plays out. First time seeing Hotaru on stream, and I mean, this character has kind of been a thorn in everyone's side since release, and there's no stopping the ball at this point. They're just able to chase down their fireballs, and their movement on the ground is second to none.
And it is scary, I will say, though. The Hatsune Hotaru is not what I expected to see today, but you know what? I'm here for it. Ryuki, though, obviously getting sent by the fireball, has to go with a jump knee and a nasty burn knuckle overhead to start us off.
And there's that Terry damage just barely inside of SPG. Is Pazuki here. See if they make anything happen with the red blow. Jumping right out of the corner for free off of the burn knuckle there.
Pushes back into that corner. Try to throw, but for Pazuki, able to jump out of it, but try to throw of their own. Honestly, just a corner trap, at least for the moment. Obviously, go for the punish. Honestly, good confirm.
If they go to the ignition gear, they will to get Ryuki out of SPG. Just enough to get him out. And this is one thing you see Hotaru do. They kind of just like won't really play the corner of the backup and throw the fireball. Speaking of the corner, they get stuck in it there. Going over the top. Off the easy is Ryuki with the overhead. Up one round.
Get ready.
1-1 so far. SPG a little late into the game, but now, hold on. Question mark?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
We've all been there.
Not bad. Rip the cord out, that's fine. Already back into it, the power wave, but nope, instead bait into it. Go overhead, get it one more time. What, he just pushed back in the corner. Pazuki, I mean, SPG just lost off rip like this?
Yeah, just looking like a complete single-player game right now. Ryuki just running their offensive game plan to a T at this point. And Hotaru not the best at defending themselves in the corner. Like confirmed into the power geyser there and a meat button to close it off. Perfect game for Ryuki, 1-game lead.
A bit of a malfunction earlier, so I imagine Pazuki just might be one of the fix that before we get into our second game here. But Ryuki already that lead 1-0 here. Looking clean with it, at least so far.
Speaking of the old heads, massive shout out to Aaron over in the chat right now, saying their first time seeing Street Fighter 2 and Fatal Fury was back in 1991. I was not even born yet, sir.
1991? But I was born 2001. That's a full 10. Wow. Good lord.
That's a veteran with the capital V right there.
That's like a veteran with an AARP card.
That AARP is crazy. That's beyond. That's beyond.
That's granddad. But already just getting back into it. Good lord. With the slow motion with it. And already feeling the heat from it into the punish. Zuku. A little worse for wear. Not even able to jump out. Honestly, that's stand A.
Was it Pazuka? I was saying Pazuki. I got food on my mind right now.
No, deadass. I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little hungry here. I would to like a cookie with maybe a little bit of ice cream on it. That's fine. But of course, get ice cream get cold with it. Ryuki already into the overheat. Full risking it. Does not even matter. End it with another knuckle. And already another round up.
Yeah, Ryuki just completely smothering Pazuku thus far. I mean, Hotaru does have the DP as we see it right there on cue. Gets blocked out. Ryuki not able to get a full punish off of it, but still just having a full command of neutral. Easy button there to get the corner carry.
And already starting us off with another corner carry here, Pazuku. We just trying to find something, anything. Response to it with the back walk, but still not even enough. Get the ignition into the massive power wave. But hey, good guard cancel already. Now the fireball game to play for neutral.
With the sliver is Pazuku not able to JD the fireball. Tough situations right there. I believe that should be Ryuki taking a 2-game lead over Pazuku.
Of course, I gotta ask, non-factor, if you put yourself in Pazuku's shoes, what would be at least the response to try and fight back against Ryuki here?
You got to do your best to establish the fireball game there and set up your offense off of that. It's one thing we see from a lot of high-level Hotarus. They're going to throw the fireball, chase behind it, and really force a 50-50 overhead or low from the side of their offense. But just not having a chance this entire set so far. Ryuki's been all over him like some honey butter on a Texas Roadhouse roll, just not letting them breathe.
Man, get that Peter Griffin-style roadhouse off these kicks in turn, I will say. And now another power wave, complete read on Mizuku's back jump. And now for Ryuki, already here on our latter set point.
If we can see Bazooka just start to use the rev guard or something when they get in these corner situations to just try to get themselves some breathing room. Ryuki with another anti-air. They've been on point all tournament long thus far. Ignition here to get the damage in. Bazooka barely inside of SPG, looking for a rev blow early.
Man, with a stand roundhouse in turn, Bazooka taking the damage for it, but hey, to get a small combo off of it. 4-hit piece, a little moderate, but for Ryuki, not matter. Tried to jump in, but instead, with anti-air, and now going in. X burn knuckle overhead, but still misses on that one. Get the riser from Bazooka. Still not gonna be close enough here. Ryuki taking it away 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, just as the score advertised, was completely dominant from Ryuki the entire time. Bazooka not able to get any offense going in. I do see Yurikov joining the ladder as well, the legend himself, 1-game lead, but on stream we got DELTARMENTA, legend of O-Right, and seeing some Andy Bogard from McFly, not a character we see too much in the competitive scene thus far.
No, but hey, maybe just might change just a little bit, especially the absolute mixture. Putting Delta through, but able to break that grab. And now, off the cane in turn. No pun intended.
Yeah, and Billy, a character that a lot of people know if you do follow the scene, kind of did just get a CVS receipt worth of patch notes and changes. I've seen a couple of players make them work thus far, but so far DELTARMENTA just getting this damage put all over him by McFly.
Hell, a 20-hit piece. Nothing moderate about that at all. But the absolute gnashing off that back throw coming in from Delta right now. Now the cane whip in turn have to go for the ignition, force the gambit. Now off that combo, get that back spin.
Alright, it's almost guess for game for both players right now. We see a feint from there from DELTARMENTA to try to bait out a jump. They got exactly what they wanted. They were able to snipe McFly out of the air up one round.
Round two, get into it. That round start, neutral game, but already closing the gap. Tried to throw bait, punish coming into it from Delta right now.
Yeah, absolutely masterful backdash there to get the wild punish off and then baiting out the DP, but no conversion. Gotta love the life lead you're playing with if you're DELTARMENTA. Just gonna go ahead and take his plus frames here. No anti-air from McFly. DELTARMENTA cashing out the damage.
There's the heated whip spin, but tried ignition and honestly for McFly, not sure if it was the right decision. Maybe just trying to find something to break out a corner. I mean, hell, you did. But I say that in Delta. You respond in turn off the jumping kicks and already by 1-0 here.
Yeah, if you've seen DELTARMENTA play before, I mean, overheat is just a suggestion to them. Whenever they get themselves revved up, they're going to keep on pressing that damage. We pointed out before the stream started, I mean, you can only say the words 2B and Crouch B so much from Billy Kane, but the button seems like it's still just as good as ever.
Man, I'm saying, I mean, despite, you know, you said the laundry list of patch notes, I mean, looking right here, Billy, still as strong as before, maybe even strong now, even post-patch. And against McFly, I mean, have to find something to adjust to it. I'm still going to find that answer now. Off the up kick, the rev in the rush. Now, spinning kicker.
Didn't build up the super in time to go ahead and get the ignition gear to bust it out, but the ignition gear from DELTARMENTA is still potent from Billy Kane. Covers all angles on a jump right there. You got a JD to keep yourself safe. Also got a JD getting sniped out of the air. DELTARMENTA protecting the skies thus far. No super. Not enough to close it out. One more guess from McFly.
Dog, what is this range? I see this and I'm like, wait, have I just been playing the wrong character until, like, do I have to try out Billy just a little bit here, non-factor?
I mean, the way I've been seeing these Billy players play this far tonight and then yesterday over at the Breakout Series, it seems like the patch notes were also just a suggestion. They're still pulling out the exact same tricks we're seeing from Billy Kane as McFly opens the round to over down 50% and DELTARMENTA just pouring it on.
Jesus, patch notes be damned. And I say that McFly will respond finally off of something to be, but no, turn, get the rush. And now 18 hit piece, no biscuit included. A little dry, even drier off the forward throw. And if you are Deltar, and hey, respawn, that guard cancel, but a nasty overhead off the cane, trying to find a range and still enough to break through.
Yeah, I mean, DELTARMENTA inside of SPG with that massive life lead, taking a note out of Supergrenas' playbook. Just keep on letting those red blows fly. At a certain point, they're going to find their home, and that's exactly what happened. So far, I mean, a pretty clean 2-0 over McFly. We saw McFly get a few things going early. Their combos were looking nice and solid for a character that is still relatively brand new, a couple months in. Let's see if they can make some magic happen here. Trevor versus to a lead.
Off that just defense, the running lead. Now for Delta, trying to get the drag in. He was found instead off the overhead. A 3-hit piece, and now for the dive in. Notifying this guy, McFly can go twice as high, hit you twice as hard here. For Delta, no exception. 7-hit back blow right into the corner.
Yeah, seems like McFly kind of catch the code. You can't get zoned out by Billy Clean if there's no room to zone, but just changing size and another 2B conversion into the ignition deal for DELTARMENTA. The tables have turned once again. JD's are trying to break up some space here, but just sticking to the strings is DELTARMENTA. The defense had to give at some point. One round away from closing out the set.
2 round away is all you need, but hey, not to be the decider. I mean, McFly, possible potential for comeback. I mean, that's what I like to see and hope to see here. But off the just defense with punish out of the grab again. Probably from Delta, especially off the air also.
Yeah, these side switches too are just working out for DELTARMENTA. Whether it's a side switch while they're in the air, the corpse hop is just putting McFly in this defensive blender. They're not able to come up with the right answers. They still have 2 bars of super, but a massive life deficit. Not gonna have a chance to cash out here. The ignition here to close out the round. DELTARMENTA, a very clean 3-0 with a perfect game with the exclamation point over McFly.
Chat, I say this with all sincerity. I think it's time we have an honest conversation about what this patch did to Billy. And by what I mean by this patch did, nothing! Hey, I'm sorry for getting into this next match. It's quad bonus. This is carry 971.
Yeah, 2 players I'm not thus familiar with in the online circuit, so it's nice to come in with a treat with 2 unfamiliars, and especially in a mirror match, you can see whose carry is just a little bit better right there. Rising tackle break, excuse me, the power dunk.
Ooh, already though, the burn knuckle into that nasty overhead once twice. Now 5-hit piece and stand heavy, but at least trade out in damage. Double power wave. Now really into it, rising tackle again, off into the corner.
Yeah, using the red power wave to get in. Oh, the forbidden handshake. Hit him with the where my hug at. Jumping back in for some more damage there. And the jumpers just keep on coming. This time they're going to go ahead and find their home for quad bonus.
Already clean with it, but now into round 2. We got off a round start and turn, but no, with that back heel instead, get the shoulder.
Enough for the corner carry here, but just walking back a little bit, giving up some real estate. Quad bonus trying to take advantage of the crack shoot over the fireball. Picking up the red blow, no one home, but a punish from the side of carry. Getting their hard knockdown in with the red blow.
And honestly, with that neutral jump, either expecting a throw or something else to try and bait out quad bonus and find the damage. But for carry right now, off of that overhead, back in the corner again, has to respond in turn with the ignition switch. Not gonna work out though, off that power wave. Burn knuckle for burn knuckle though. Now carry, able to tie this up 1-1 in our rounds.
Yeah, good call just to hit the brakes right there and end up baiting out the scooper. Might have thrown out their combo, getting a guard cancel instead of just a block, but able to pick it right back up, make it 1 round apiece here. And thus far, we've been playing some clean neutral between these 2 Terrys. A few jump ins to try to get over the fireballs, but no big screens quite yet. And as I say that, it's a home run hitter with the ignition gear for quad bonus.
And good ignition gear at that one, but stand heavy again. No, catches you right in the air. The burn knuckle. Now another ignition to put you through your paces for quad bonus. I'm honestly looking a little worse for where you get caught in it a second time. And now just a fraction of health, 1 HP in a dream. And now try to find a combo of your own. Risks the overheat. And another ignition.
Yes, for game for both players, a great JD on the crossover attempt from the side of carry here. They're going to go ahead and find the chip off of the burn knuckle. Looking clean thus far from both, but carry taking the first game.
Already in fire with it. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, kind of expecting that to go over to quad bonus, especially with how the earlier rounds were looking. But carry, will take it back. Power wave, but power wave though.
Actually get in, gets the counter hit on top of it. It's gonna be a lot of damage with no super needed. Over to the corner we go. Jump over the button. A wild punish finds its home. Not gonna be enough to kill here, but business decision time for carry.
Free kick off in that corner. But now, burn knuckle for knuckle. Now trade out. Okay, power wave for power wave again. Now I imagine getting a second one here, but quad and overheat. I'm gonna play the risky game with him and help be my guest. And risky we will go. Guaranteed. Get the kill against carry.
Yeah, a whiff punish, burn knuckle with a whiff punish. That's what we see too often, but great spacing there from the side of quadbonus. 1 line away from tying this up. See if Carry has anything to say about it. Sticking to the Rekka series there. The punish from the side of Carry, and the burn knuckles have just kind of been getting thrown out left and right here.
Hell no, that rising tackle ignition on top of that. I'm gonna go for that heavy kick into the back elbow. Carry trying to press the light pressure, but still find yourself still trapped in corner here. And now trying to burn knuckle again off the defense. The punish from Quad though.
Oh, not able to convert. Didn't get the jump in there, but ended up finding the wild punish off the landing frames. Anyways, 2 quick rounds there for quadbonus. Able to keep Carry kind of in the corner and not really force any scrambles in this situation. Quadbonus might have cracked the code here, playing a little more stable.
Get ready.
For stability, all you need depends on it just between that and an easy 3-1 victory. Possibly, I say that though. We already got another burn knuckle on deck. Get the rush combo. Now, playing a neutral game just straight back into it. The heavy kick, get the punish.
Oh, big time crack shoot for the counter hit. Gonna take Carry well out of SPG here with no ignition gear needed. Finally, we see a throw finder home, walking back. Not pressing off with the shimmy there, but just trying to gauge what Carry's gonna be doing on defense.
Of course, trying to find another knuckle off of it. Now Quad, SPG available even on that, but the counter hit, jump over, get the cross up in turn. Now, find a power wave again, lead you into it. For Carry, risky game, punish, knuckle again.
Yeah, that crouch seat from Terry just has such a good hitbox on. I think it's another thing that did get extended, their hitbox from the top, if I am correct, right there. Carry able to make the most of it there. Everything's out there, a pretty damaging combo. All dunked into the corner, so nice, we'll show it twice.
Get the forward throw. So shimmy with it off that cross up. Side swap into that, but the throw with punish again, says Carry. I dare you to. And now, get red line.
Big time hidden gear there for all the damage in the world. Not sure if it's going to be enough to kill here. Survey says you are alive by just a second.
Sliver of health. It's between you and a dream. The power wave. Now you really have to play for your life. Caught in the middle though. And Carry. Full read right into the knuckle. All you need.
Yeah, Carry's spacing so far has been pretty good. We've seen a couple of whiff punishes from him, either with the standing heavy kick or the crouch C, but just playing the distance perfectly. I guess that comes in a mirror match where you know exactly what range you want to play it against the character.
Hit it again, but no, the power wave already into that overhead, but you want to get wild, be my guest. And now for quad bonus. Get the punish off of it, another throw, but able to break it. Now into overheat, full risk, trying to find the high reward that goes along with it.
Playing their offense, trying to get that gauge downward. Overheat is just a state of mind as they continue to keep Carry in this particular range right here. Not quite in the corner, but just kind of daring Carry to try to jump out of the situation there. Wasn't able to anti-air in time, gets caught with the crack shoot.
Now full throw again. Forward throw twice? Okay, third time would be so funny, but able to break it in turn. But one more throw coming into it from Quad instead. Get that jumping elbow. That hurt box range, wild. And now for Carry, already trying to set point.
Facing again, showing its place. Carry just able to put their heavies right exactly where they need them. These whip punishes have been on point. Kind of been to the demise of quad bonus thus far. On command right there, another crouch C, but not able to convert into it. Anti-air on cue, should be out of SPG, but drops the combo.
Now the punish instead. Didn't even trying to throw attempt from that range, but smart enough to back off, shoulder bash, down tackle also. Now trying to punish.
We got told in chat that it's actually Terry's voice actor on the left side. Right now, unfortunately, getting caught with the hidden gear, but I mean, I'm sure they heard the lines before since they read them.
Oh, a massive hidden gear at that one. But you still find yourself alive after a wild one power wave to chase you down. Back elbow, overhead. Now you want to risk it. Double power wave for power wave, word for word, bar for bar, punish into no response. Rising tackle and another. Put you down. Carry. Want to get the 3-1.
Yeah, solid thus far. We pointed out multiple times the spacing from Carry just on point. That's kind of the double-edged sort of a mirror match. Is less than an hour left. See which one of these players on here is going to go ahead and get their dub. We have Zintai and Supergrenas back on stream here.
Oh boy, who would have expected another Billy Kane? But in turn though, Supergrenas able to get off with that nasty punish. Wreck a combo in full turn.
Stuck in the corner now. Not where you want to be for Billy Kane, but able to roll out, get the side switch there, and Supergrenas making sure they don't leave without anything, getting the throw and the meaty fireball setup afterwards.
Absolutely not even allowing just an ounce of escape coming in from Zintai right here. And Supergrenas gets a perfect round to start us off.
Yeah, that is one thing I will say. Out of all the things Billy Kane does have, I think on defense they do lack. They'd have to commit to the ignition gear to try to look for a reversal or different guard cancels and things like that. But right back to the corner you go as Supergrenas is going to go ahead and snipe you out of the air with a rev blow.
Again, 10-hit piece, but already trying to cancel out the jump into Twister. But now, Zintai, off the low, but no, gets a punish for their troubles and now has to go for the spinning back cane to try and find at least a little bit of reprieve.
Oh, but waking up with the ignition gear and Supergrenas is going to show off with the just defend. Does have 2 bars of gauge on deck and go into the hidden gear if they do please.
To say, already 18 hit, get the gear off rip.
Going to be exactly picture perfect as Preecha planned. Supergrenas with a pretty dominant and impressive 1 game up.
Oh, my back, everything, ACL, MCL, torn into shreds. At least for now, you can recover, walk it off, you should be fine. So heading to our second game here between Zintai and Supergrenas.
One thing you'll see Supergrenas do as well that just got pointed out by someone on Twitter, I forgot exactly who it was, but if you see them go for the Rekka series, it looks like they'll drop their combo. What they're actually doing is either setting up a safe jump or they're setting up a frame trap. So for you folks at home who are not privy to the online scene, there are times where it looks like Supergrenas will drop something, but it's all a setup.
Exactly, it's all planned, it's all set up, it's all in your mind, at least according to some, but for Supergrenas, cold and calculated. And of course, that cane just pushed back, not gonna work out for Zintai, except in that moment might have spoken too soon. Now full risk of the overheat into the ignition.
More than enough to kill there. Zintai is striking back fast there. Supergrenas opening up the perfect and then another dominant round afterwards. Zintai trying to turn the tide here.
Round 2. You see, a little too close for it, but already off that uppercut. Get the jump in, fade out the throw for Zintai, punished accordingly.
Yeah, something we've seen from Supergrenas on streams thus far. Those short neutral hops have just been working out big time with baiting out these throws. Able to get a lot of damage off of it. A drop combo there, but a back throw is going to work out in Zintai's favor.
And the fact that that back throw comes packed with that much damage, I mean, Billy Kane just doing Billy Kane things, but Supergrenas just doing Preecha things, especially off the ignition. A little moderate damage, but against Zintai, this might not be enough. If you're not careful enough, though, you get punished, especially off the missed kicks.
Supergrenas known to take risks when they do have that massive life lead. This time getting punished big time for Zintai. Using the ignition gear to put Supergrenas in a guess for game situation. Trying to open him up with the 2P, but showing off again with the JDs as Supergrenas, and just an unfortunate timing there to press a button, getting caught with the tornado from the side of Supergrenas. 1 round apiece.
Tied 1-1 here, but already tried that jump in. Get the anti-air action instead off of Zintai. And now, chip damage pressure. Not going to be enough as Supergrenas able to get the ignition and then the throw in turn. Twister tried it again, but able to break it.
And just breaking right again with that red blow. Supergrenas busting out all the tricks. Zintai trying to fight the way to the corner here to no avail. Ended up getting the jump out for free. Looking for the 2B again, but Supergrenas' defense still on point.
Twister again. It's just moderate damage, but from that distance, Supergrenas just trying to hit everything off the zoning game for Zintai. Closes the gap, but now gut check from the knee instead. So again, get him off the drag back, and now Supergrenas packed back into overheat.
2B conversion there. Supergrenas just mashing all the lights. They get the cross-up wild punish into the ignition gear, stealing away the momentum of Zintai. Now with the 2-0 lead is Supergrenas.
And just when it gets close, we think Zintai can pop it off the cane shenanigans. Supergrenas saying, listen, that's cool and all. Full denial, you're gonna have fun, at least for the moment, and then it's my turn. So you won't have any chance to pull back against it.
And still great defense on point from the side of Supergrenas. The JDs and the throw tech showing their face here. On command, we see another one, a jump in from Supergrenas, no conversion off of it. He's gonna go with the Rekka series, but a great challenge for 2B from Zintai.
And absolutely, get the jump in off of that in the air, then the forward throw against Zintai. Get the Twister off of wake up, and still able to guarantee the fact and damage into the ignition again.
One more guess is all it's going to take here. Zintai gets put into overheat. Supergrenas dropping the combo on purpose to get the throw in that situation. Going right over the top to close it out. 1 round away from a clean 3-0. See how Zintai responds here.
Smart decision to go in for the jump and elbow at the end of that to really make sure Zintai just trying not to get the mid-range game, get you the round, but instead Supergrenas already on set point, and now try that back turn elbow once, twice. If it doesn't work, then a third time maybe, but now for Zintai, still only get a little bit of damage here, off the ignition, into the air, and down back below.
Gets the throw here. This is how Zintai's been able to open up Supergrenas this far, is just kind of just mixing up these 50-50s on wake up. Try to just peel away these defensive layers, but Supergrenas continues to get themselves space and just forcing these hard reads. A jump in attempt from Zintai is going to get sniped out of the air with the DP break from Supergrenas.
One twister, maybe a second one here off the jump in, heavy leg. Now for Zintai. The cane. Now just trying to find anything. Pressure all around. And now you want to get heated up. I mean, now's the time to do it for Zintai. Supergrenas, though, at least almost 2 HP in a dream here. Able to whittle you down. 6, 7, 8, 9 hit piece. Maybe make it one more.
Oh, jumping in with the stave jump, empty jump low. I like the call there. Not needing Supergrenas with a dominant 3-0 over Zintai.
Ooh, clean at that, but hey, still a wild way to get there in the first place. Moving on here in our ladder. Zintai, of course, maybe have some more chance to really push through our ladder. But so far, Supergrenas looking...
Calling me Santino is crazy.
Oh, goodness. But already getting into our next match here. Ruben versus Kula.
And Kula with the Ronaldo, the CR7, a character we really don't see too much. I mean, I think the only notable one we can think of is Diaphone, who just took that qualifier a couple days ago. But it's going to be interesting to see what Kula can bust out, because I know this character does have some pretty sick setups using the ball.
I will say, though, again, not often seeing Ronaldo in the first place. I haven't seen Ronaldo almost at all, like you said, outside of Diaphone, but already for Ruben. Getting out the back elbow, but now the jump over, trying to cross up. Instead, Kula tried the jump over. Ruben popping the ignition hit to really put you back in corner.
Yeah, such quick startup from that ignition gear from the side of Terry Bogard. That time, bringing things out the power dunk here, right back at you, says Kula.
Uh-oh. They try it off the Pele kick. Try the ignition, get the ball up, back down.
You gotta be careful here if you're Ruben. I'm sure there's gotta be a situation where it might be unfamiliarity going against their opponent in this one. As we pointed out, a character you don't see too often. And one thing I do know about Ronaldo, when they have this life lead, they kind of can just hang back, just throw this ball around.
True, just bouncing projectiles versus the power wave. I mean, you ask yourself, what's gonna win? Well, in that situation, ball hits body. And now for Kula, already able to tie this 1-1. SPG even immediately available. Tried the power wave again, but able to break it, not out of the ball again.
Yeah, just using the red ball to go through the fireball in that situation. Also throwing up these things with the ball to bait out something. Unfortunately, baited out of Super, they did get hit by. Speaking of baits, getting baited out with the DP is Kula. Going to look for a large punish here. No Super. They add the extra on top of it, but a nice commanding life lead over Kula currently.
How smart to do so. Full destruction of Kula's SPG, but Ruben would still have it available. Misses on the throw. Back throw. Really put you through your paces. Into that back Pele kick, the soccer kick, excuse me. And now going in. Full ignition gear.
That's a chip of life left with a turn of the projectile. Unfortunately, trying to wake up with the Super. Soccer ball reaches him first. Kula, a pretty scrambly first game there, but able to make the most out of it.
Of course, Mika-chan Typhoon in the chat saying Ronaldo damage is illegal. I mean, if you see the Ronaldo just saw off of that. That first game, I mean, hey, might not be wrong here. Now for Ruben, counterattack in the first place, tried to dive in, but no, has to go for the riser. Of course, down back below, overhead gets challenged. Kula able to get it.
I like to mix up there the anti-air ball, the dash under. Unfortunately, not able to get anything off of it. Kula finding themselves in the corner here. Even just trying to stagger their offense, gets the DP break off of that one, enough to build up the Super. There choose the knockdown situation.
Of course, get the bird knuckle into the overhead again. The ignition off the mega power wave. Now Kula going down here. Ruben possibility to tie this 1-1, at least in game.
We've seen Kula also go for a couple of red blow attempts, trying to combo off him, just not able to land it right there. Cross up lands for Ruben. Kula striking back, baiting out a DP. Do a nasty punish well inside SPG.
Of course, the ball up top, ball back down though. Now for Ruben, just narrowly has the SPG available. Full destruction of it, and the Ronaldo damage. You know what? I'm not gonna lie, it is looking a little scary with the rate that you're able to chunk down Ruben's life like that. Ooh.
Also just forcing some hard guesses with the feint. Speaking of hard guesses, Ruben just able to go over the top. out of SPG early. Kula looking for another wake-up DP. No home on that one. Ruben smelling blood in the water. Does have the ignition gear on deck. Gonna cash out the power geyser.
That rising tackle, especially the catches in the gut check, whiffs off the throw, and Kula, of course, accordingly punishes. And now go for the soccer kick, get the ball back up top, and now down back below. Ruben trying to respond, especially off the shoulder bash. But not going to work out, especially after that last riser.
Might have the opening they need. Gonna go ahead and spend the full red line gear to close out the round. Kula, by the skin of their teeth, able to close out the game. 2 games up now on Ruben.
Hell, you don't even need the cinematic to play out a full guaranteed combo kill. Now for Kula, he's trying to run away with this, a little scarily enough for Ruben. Seen time and time again, the comeback possibility is there, but honestly, a lot of missed hits, some whiffs, and Kula full advantage of it on the end of the ball mix-ups.
It might just be that unfamiliarity. We've seen a couple of times where Kula's just kind of throwing these ball feints in the face of Ruben this far, and Ruben not challenging at any point, just kind of just caught in this situation where they're not knowing exactly what's going on in front of them. That time getting a big time jump in. Kula's still barely inside of SPG. Overhead right there, getting the wild punish, but no combo on top of it. Ruben right outside of SPG.
And now, try that chest tackle. Instead, back elbow. Did it once, twice, maybe a third time. Shoulder bash in turn. Now, low kick, the hop in against Kula, still able to break the throw. There's the power wave to try and buffer against the ball again.
With the red blow to keep Kula into the corner. One more guess is all they're gonna have in the round, with Ruben having that ignition gear on deck, just trying to stagger their pressure. Is Kula slowly working the way out, putting Ruben into overheat. I'm on that one.
Uh-oh. Try the ball again, just right in the face, and now Ruben, full overheat. I'm gonna risk it, I mean, high risk, high reward. Kula's just there, playing with their food, or I should say, one ball in a dream, but forward throw from troubles again, into that tackle upper, and then back down to the ground you go.
Get ready.
All right, Ruben right now realizing that they don't have to fear the ball if they just go ahead and let it rip on command. With their power geyser to open up the round, over 50% down now. Kula fighting with their back to the wall.
Of course, just have to jump out of it. And then that head bash also get the soccer kick. I should say butterfly kick.
That setup is so filthy. We've seen them go for that twice where they'll lob the ball over and go for a cross-up attempt afterwards. That time, not able to find a combo off of it, but presenting the tricks that Ronaldo does have in this game. No anti-air on time, though. Ruben gonna make the most out of the jump in there, putting themselves on the board now, 1-2.
Okay, there we go. My possibility there, very much there. Full potential. 1-2, still a bit of a ways to go, though. I mean, Kula, off rip and already. Ball back up top, go for the mid check, but that power wave gonna beat it out.
The anti-air there from the side of Kula. Rolling back in, though, is Ruben. Will stick on a jab, get a little bit of record series conversion off of that. Kula just gonna roll back into him, wants to stick on top of him, but Ruben turning to the fireball here.
Of course, get that shoulder bash off the run up too. Able to bait out the throw, but Ruben can't find the follow-up instead. Another throw gonna work successfully, but hey, able to pick right through the ball. Now just defense coming into it from Kula, tried the chest press.
They take advantage of having the SPG on deck here, not gonna have a chance. Kula finds the hit, gonna go coast to coast, and they're gonna cash out the ignition gear here. Not sure if it's gonna be enough to kill, and it is! Oh my goodness, we talked about the damage from Ronaldo before, but my god.
In the round 2 especially, now the game plan has to change if you have any possibility. Kula to run away with this, has to go for the ignition switch, especially off the power wave. But for Kula, respond, not just yet. Chest press again, just defense.
And JD for JD here, the slide tackle to get in from Kula, trying to look for another setup. This time Ruben just busting out with the power dunk and challenging with the lights once again.
Out the jump in, and punch two. Now get it off the burn knuckle, get that rising tackle on top. Ignition, power, wave, and Ruben just trying to fight for survival here.
Yeah, right now looking at a pretty much set life right here, trying to tie things up 2-2. See if Kula has anything to say about that coming into the round with 1 bar of super already built up. Trying to chase down Ruben, but this time just not letting the punning stuff work here. Getting the throws and finding their punish, just breaking out again with the power dunk.
Just playing riskier here, and of course go for the dive in Kula. He's flipping a page out of the book of Jaleel. Still gonna beat right through power wave, and now get that air on top of that.
Looking for a cross up there was Kula, continuing to stagger out the pressure, finding a throw. Trying to get Ruben out of SPG, but this time he's gonna rev low through the front stuff. Kula almost in overheat though, gotta be careful in revving up that gauge.
One ball, two ball, third. But now that power wave getting punished instead off the low slide. And now, Kula tackle something, anything, get the feint. That tackle again, you want to risk the overheat like this, and on wake up, forward throw for your troubles, and now jump right over ignition. Twice though? Ugh.
Not even sure if that's a calculation, but an absolute madman from Kula to let 2 ignition gears rip back to back on Ruben jumping over. A very, very high stakes call, but it's going to turn up Kula, taking it 3-1 over characters that did actually get buffed a lot. And speed of characters we haven't seen yet. Finally, some Ken Masters to grace our eyes.
Oh, thank goodness. Also, chat, y'all are going to have to bear with me. I'm so used to hitting the Street Fighter 6 inputs. So instead of jump C, it's like, oh, crouching heavy kick. So let me chill my ass out for 2.2 seconds.
You know, speaking of which, when I was playing the character, it got kind of hard for me to translate my brain to 4 buttons seeing Ken, because doing like is what would be medium punch, heavy punch target combo in Street Fighter 6 is your C and then forward C, which is a little foreign to me, so it's just going to take a little bit of a learning curve. And right now, Johnny's going to have to learn how to play some defense, because Dende playing with a massive life lead here in the first round.
Actually, after those Jinrai kicks coming in from Johnny, you need everything you can, but hey, punish into that in turn. Already. That DP, okay, excuse me, calm down. Street Fighter 6 coming back to haunt me again, but now that back turn kick to get the fireball also.
Go into the Dragon Lash, ignition gear to get the damage there, looking for the cross up on the Cotw right there. Trying to go over the head, but busting out his Dende. One more guess for both players, and Johnny slowly walking themselves back down to the corner here. Now an overheat going to the Jinrai, and they're going to steal their turn right back with a wake-up Shoryuken.
Get that DP again, and now it's for round 2. Johnny, SPG, obviously early here, but now trying to feint Shoryuken. Jinrai kicks already off turn again. Into the just defense, air to air. Get that rolling back throw.
And if my memory does serve me correct, I believe a light DP is going to be the one that is invincible. Great call there from Johnny to close out that round, and a great call to go ahead and get the corner carry here off of the run. Cotw, DP cancel all the way into the ignition here. I like the call for the damage. Right back at you though, says Dende.
Exactly, want to get electrifying with it. Now's the time to do so, but already get the kicks. And now, side swap does not even matter for Johnny. Able to take this away so far, 1-0 against Dende.
Yeah, thus far, it's just kind of been the combo strength of Ken. You know, he does actually have a decent amount of damage, and his combos are, you know, super fun to do, and Johnny just making the most out of it right there. Every single hit they got was leading over to the corner. That's kind of something that Ken has kind of carried over from Street Fighter 6, is their corner carry is kind of second to none.
Of course, trying to throw again, but now for Dende. Gets gapped on the lows. Off the run in, get the throw in turn. And now you want to keep this corner loop frame trap, and now's the time to do so. For Johnny, has to play the just defense game. But already into it, side swap, DP again.
And they're trying to roll out there, looking for a red blow to break up the monotony. No one home on that one. Johnny still barely inside of SPG, can answer a red blow if they do see one. Gets a throw. Crouch C. Gonna go ahead and get the Jinrai loop started.
About to say, loops here. Just Jinrai and just heavy punch right to the face. Dende already going down here. Johnny able to take another one into round 2. Of course, getting a round start run in. So far out of neutral. Instead, though, jump C for your troubles.
And Dende gonna throw as well to get us back to neutral here, air to air. Continue to chase these rolls from Johnny, but just not able to cash out a lot of damage. And one thing about Dong is, like, they do some of the biggest damaging combos in the game with, you know, not too much meter involved. So as soon as Dende gets their hands on them like we see here, they should be able to cash out big time.
Oh, good lord, from PTSD, I see that stance, and I'm like, Paragon? No, Dong Hwan, different name, very different font, but still that same impact damage. And now, already, we need just a little bit of a heavy kick here for Dende. He's trying to look for something, anything to turn us around, tied 1-1 in our rounds.
Yeah, he ended up finding to stomp that round, and that kind of led to all the damage there. Another knee button. Getting into a B&B here, see if they catch up with the ignition here to get an SPG. Not even going to need it to take Johnny out of the yellow bar, but we're going to go ahead and throw in the damage for almost 50% off of Johnny's life bar.
Of course, trying to Jinrai loop again, but a kick coming into it from Johnny. And now, side swap. Be out that shorty you can. I'm getting scary with the triple jump.
One thing Ken can do really well when they're fighting out the corners, look for that low forward and then the dragon last side swap. We saw from Johny a couple of times. Right now, Dende trying to make sure they don't have another chance to pull it out this round. Chooses to go with the ignition gear out of the sky. It is going to be enough to kill Dende. Tying things up 1 game apiece.
The air ignition, honestly, seeing that being a 21-22 hit piece from me is some nasty work, but still for Dende, imagine happy enough able to guarantee that kill, able to tie it, and able to break out of those Jinrai loops with heavy kicks.
Yeah, taking a page out of my Street Fighter 6 gameplay right there. Not wanting to hold the funny stuff there. Johnny's still getting away with it though. They continue to go for the Jinrai low just to make sure they're safe on block here. Dende striking back though. Gonna be a lot of corner carry here.
17 hit piece already to the corner, but tried to throw. Good neutral jump out of Johny though to really punish it. Now you want throw loops just right into the Tatsumaki. DP ender at that. Of course, a couple light punches, really break through with the chip. Again off the bait and punish.
We've seen players do it all night. That neutral hot just working out big time. Johny able to cash out the damage with the level 1 there. Dende striking right back. Every single time we see a super, Dende's been responding with an equally damaging one, but Johny making the most of the scramble, catching a straight hit there. 1 round away from a 2-1 advantage.
We saw the damage from last time that Dende was able to hit ignition, and Miguel in chat saying, Dong hits like a truck, but not that many use it. Understandable. I will actually note that for later. I will say though, off the punish, the DP not going to work out in your favor though. Dende able to get that down stomp once, twice already. Get the kicks off of the corner. You know what? Second time's a charm into the ignition.
And the combo's still going. Look at the damage there. Chasing the roll on that one. Getting the meaty button should be enough to close out the round. Dende striking back with an exclamation point. A perfect game.
Just defense be damned. Dende saying, I hope you're bulletproof. This one's really about to hurt. And a full combo extension. Not once, not twice, but 3 times off a side swap. And now, Johny trying to find something neutral. Jump into the punish, though. Now you pull Jinrai off. Hadouken side swap into a double DP into the air. Nasty.
Yeah, a corner knockback off of that one coming from neutral. Is sitting on 2 bars there, so they do find it confirmed. They have the hitting gear in their pocket. Dende whiffing the rev blow. This might be the opening that Johny needs to close out the round. DP cancel. We're going to get the full animation.
Say I'm playing my cinematic. You thought my Street Fighter 6 supers were cool? Shut up and sit down.
Striking back with a perfect round of their own. Johny making it flashy. Up 2 games to 1 on Dende and showing the strength of Ken Masters.
Okay, Ken, I was very familiar with your game in Street Fighter 6. When it comes to your Fatal Fury translation, I was unfamiliar with your game, and now I have to deeply and sincerely apologize.
Like the mix-up on the Jin right there, choosing for the overhead option off of the revved enhanced version. Dende busting out though, back into the neutral. Oh, the hyper defense, but no reaction to get a punish there.
And now just a straight run up to the neutral jump instead. And now good wild punish coming in off the DP. Get that air Tatsu off turn. And now for Dende playing the defensive game. Couch low kick, but still not gonna work out in your favor. Another DP side swap. Able to block against just defense and another counter.
Oh, the air throw from Dom. You don't see that too often, but Dende busting out the tricks here, continuing to stick to their offensive strings. Johny just kind of biding their time. We've seen him break out with the light DP a couple of times, not showing it quite yet.
Down stomp, but already that run and getting punished. Get electrifying with it. DP whiff. And now for Dende, opportunity to put this at 2-2 possibility.
Yeah, unfortunately, when we do see the light DP, it was a straight whiff. Right now, Dende trying to tie things up 2 rounds apiece. Johny close to building up those 2 bars. There it is. Still winning SPG, busting out with another DP. Not afraid to let him rip all night.
Honestly, that punch, no, in turn, want to get some kicks off. It's going to work out for Dende in full punish contention. Now you want to end it off the ignition. A little bit shocking, no pun intended, but now that air coming out of Johny. Now trying to find the punish and kick the Jinrai loop again. The rear, it's ugly head. Side swap, DP, ignition again.
Big time damage from Ken Masters. Dende has 1 more guess level than him, using the rev bar to try to get some space here, but mixing up the Jinrais to go over the top and finishing it off with the ignition gear. Johny getting a little mixed up on the Jinrais to put Dende in the blender, 1 round away from closing out the set.
and they want to get spicy with it. I'm not talking jalapeno, I'm talking Carolina Reaper pepper. And Ken, no exception here, especially starting us off. That Tatsumaki peeking off the end. DP once, DP twice again off the loops. Now trying to find anything off of Jinrai, but that air-to-air from Dende gonna get punished accordingly. Honestly, don't want to make a fatal mistake, but the last loop of that, able to find damage.
Yeah, both players are now just looking to roll out. They're playing at a peculiar range on offense to make sure their opponent's facing the corner there. Great spacing from the side of Johny. And they're hit in, has the super. Is it going to be enough to kill? Just enough. Johny put enough in the tank to take a 3-1 dub over Dende.
The guaranteed kill off the end of that. You want full high risk, gets you high reward. And Johny, no exception. 3-1 here, which I will get about the Dende. That high end.
Round 1. Get
All
ready.
right, and let's get into it. Should be the last match on stream from our ladder side. BadBoyRay. Gonna throw the Repukin on the floor. No chasing after it thus far. Genyuro trying to use the teleport to get funky with it. Finds a cross up, but no conversion.
Dynamic kick and turn. But now it's trying to from the air. Down fireball. I'm trying to catch Genyuro really off guard, but that running knee. Get that jump in. Nothing found just yet. Just some heavy defensive play coming into it from BadBoy right now. I said that a little too soon, and already have our first bit, at least true damage coming in from Genyuro here.
BadBoyRay still barely inside of SPG. We saw them go for a Red Bull attempt. No one was home on that one. Wake up DP from the side of Genyuro, and a rising tackle attempt is going to completely whip for BadBoyRay. Going to be a big time punish. Does have the ignition gear on deck to shoot the spin it. Choosing to go knockdown. They're going to mix up off the demon flip, but no follow up.
And now, find something, anything. Get you on the low, though. And now, BadBoyRay, look at the side swap. But how useful it is. I think the most important question here was, I should say, Genyuro. All you need, just one punch and a dream to be able to get you up by 1 round here.
I saw Genyuro early on, just try to get a little funky with it, using the teleports and different demon flip aspects right there. And BadBoyRay just not ready, gets the command throw out of the demon flip that time. Still barely inside SPG, but continuing to be a victim of the blender.
Absolutely, that cross up and especially the air-to-air, the forward throw to put you through your paces again. And now try the fireball to maybe catch BadBoy out of wake up, right down below. And now Genyuro committing fully to the ignition.
One more guess for BadBoyRay this round. Their defenses look good this far. It's just the mobility options of Andy Bogart a little too much. Little light conversion there, enough to close out the first game. Genyuro making the most of Andy's mobility early.
Of course, I have to ask non-factor. I mean, I understand we're already only into 1 game of the set here, but what do you think BadBoy could really do better to try and pressure better against Genyuro?
You just got to be able to chase down those fireballs. With Rock being one of the characters with a run in this game, you have to make sure you keep Andy Bogart's feet on the ground. He's been a victim of too many mix-ups thus far, so the best way to fight a fire might be with a little more fire from the side of BadBoyRay.
And you know what? Understandable. BadBoyRay definitely going to need it. Let's see what Genyuro to really run away with this. I mean, I understand it's only 1-0, but honestly, that momentum is something you want to stop here. And after multiple back-to-back counter hits, looking a little tough here, especially with 10-hit piece, and now trying to jump in.
They're just peppering their strings little by little, and BadBoyRay just seems so tentative on defense. Whiffed 1 rising tackle earlier in the first game, but just hasn't let anything rip here. Has a sliver and just gets caught with the 2C punish. BadBoyRay just against the ropes here, Ash.
And a majority of these being counter hits, I mean, in the back of my mind, one can only assume, especially me, that BadBoy just trying to mash their way out of this, trying to find something, anything, maybe even get calculated with it. But at the same time, side swap once, twice, third time, and now with that throw, get that air-to-air off the fireball.
Yeah, I like introducing the command throw there, just trying to make sure that, Genyuro has to respect the offensive strings. Could be stopped at any moment, but they got with some low strings of their own. Able to use the Kuhudan to knock BadBoyRay out of the air. Put themselves into the corner, but still just breaking up their strings in such a way that's kind of baiting out those buttons from BadBoyRay.
Try to jump in. Good duck on the overhead, though. Could have gotten a little scary. Not careful enough. Now for BadBoy. Playing the defensive game again, even with the side swap. Genyuro still able to find the cross-up damage for another confirm.
There we go, ignition gear. Gonna set up a 1-guess scenario for BadBoyRay as they find their backs to the wall again. JD to keep themselves alive, but gets caught from the demon flip C again.
And already, Genyuro really risking the overheat. Doesn't really matter when you have a life lead and a very close quarters fireball to put down BadBoyRay. Now already 2-0. It takes 1 more here for our last game.
Yeah, it's all Genyuro right now. The mobility options, once again, just looking very, very good in that second game. As you pointed out, a lot of what Genyuro's opening up with is counter hits, because BadBoyRay might be trying to mash a light to break up some of these strings, and Bogart being a somewhat newer character, there might be some unfamiliarity with how to handle your defense against him.
I mean, hell, it happens too. That unfamiliarity just might put you in a place of just the uncomfortableness that does happen for BadBoyRay. We're starting to feel it just a little bit. Get the crouch guard, but still able to work out, especially against a forward throw. Also get that fastball special off the flip into the upper.
Well over 50% down now for BadBoyRay. Getting another commando. One more guess for BadBoyRay. Looking for the cross up there. BadBoyRay might have the opening with Genyuro putting himself into the corner here. A couple of lights, but no big conversion.
Not just yet. He's spamming a lot of these light punches to really just try to find something, anything, like you mentioned earlier. Now for BadBoyRay, playing with 1 HP in a dream, in a smoking smoke back out to catch you on the low. Genyuro now on set point.
Coming into the last round, or potentially the last round with super of their own, can cause big damage early and put BadBoyRay in a bad spot here. Use the air fireball and then just dashing right in. Should be enough to take BadBoyRay to SPG with the ignition gear.
Already in the corner, up on wake up again, trying to find something, but still that overhead. Now for BadBoyRay, bringing to the defense, but might not be enough, just trying to mash the jab to break up pressure. At least in that situation, gonna work out.
Try to look for the cross up there as well. BadBoyRay starting to show some offensive options there, but it's just not quite enough. The Demon Flip C into the fireball. One more guess is all it's going to need. Continue to go for the Demon Flip. We're going to finish things off with the command grab. A clean 3-0 for Genyuro.
Demon Flip into the back grab. Listen, I understand that insurance bill is going to be a little too high off the backbreaker to really end things from Genyuro here. A clean sweep 3-0 against BadBoy.
We talked about Marco did get some changes, especially on that overhead. The pushback is not as prevalent, so see if Hokutomaru can get some 2C punishes on a blocked overhead, because that is definitely a tool you want to bust out more often than not if you're a Marco main.
And absolutely try to throw again, but RINO punishing accordingly. The dive kick, and ElRayomac getting immediately turned all the way around towards Sunday here.
Yeah, the ambiguous cross up as well, but not able to finish the combos. RINO here finding themselves in the corner now. ElRayomac not having enough to put him at an SPG, but we'll see what the setup is. Tried to bait something out, but RINO just staying put.
Oh no. Come on, play that 50-50 specialist game that we love to see from Marco, but maybe not in the overheat like this. A little vulnerable. He tried to DP, but RINO able to get the reversal into the rush combo.
Yeah, that is one of the trickier things to do if you play Marco in this situation, is that when you look for DP, there are times where it's going to completely whiff thanks to the double jump and the hang time of Hokutomaru.
Absolutely. That's a low punch already. The rush combo again, but the side swap. And ElRayomac playing the defensive game. Get the rush body check. Get that ignition.
Over the corner now, ElRayomac still barely inside of SPG. Gets caught with the light taken right out. The Kuhudan to get some space there from RINO. Just continuing to use the float and the double jump to try to throw ElRayomac's defensive options off his game. Gets caught with the Rev Tatsu though.
The hit, the Jalil, the dive in, especially after the last Rev Tatsu, but now diving again, twice off the tackle. And now the Sky go down twice as hard here from RINO. Now ElRayomac able to set it into final round.
Oh, jumping in immediately over the fireballs there. Didn't believe in the punish, getting the hang time. Trying to turn chips into chunks here. ElRayomac though, just staying patient, getting the fireball going.
Patiently, that patient game coming back, bite you in the butt though. That fireball game, RINO was just able to gap it completely. A 16, 17, 18 casual, 19 hit piece to more. And already you want to go full gear. Be my guest.
Good call for the hitting gear, not just for the damage, but to go ahead and shut down all that rev meter you built up. Coming in with a clean slate, finding themselves a cross up, no conversion off of it. Could have been the kill there. ElRayomac against the wall. 2C the goat showing up, getting the back throw. This might be the opening ElRayomac needs.
I mean, one can only hope, and you might have said that a little too soon. ElRayomac get immediately punished after that throw. Corner game be damned, says RINO, and already putting us up to 1-0 here.
Yeah, you can say it time and time again, the movement options of Hokutomaru are just too much to deal with for certain characters. We saw ElRayomac look for some DPs, but no one was home on that. And RINO started things off with a full corner carry and the hard knockdown from the Rev blow.
In the corner, you have to guess for this 50-50. Is it grab? Is it shuriken? Maybe a little bit of both. Second grab, shuriken again. And now the smoke in, smoke back out. ElRayomac put through a loop of nasty proportion. RINO getting a perfect game leading into it.
And no super needed as well. Able to hold on to that stick of butter, taking it into round number 2. One thing we talked about is the distance on that Rev Tatsu from Marco does not go the same, amount of screen space as it used to. It's easier to whip punish there. Not going to be a problem as ElRayomac getting RINO stuck in the corner here. 50% down and the throw on top.
And plenty of damage at that. Had to hit that ignition fireball earlier, but the neutral jump to get the rev blow again from ElRayomac. And now you want your throw loops abound. All fruit loops, but even more so damaging. One more thing from RINO. 6 or 7 piece combo, even more off the top. And if you want to get spicy with it, ignition is the way to go. Even off 1 HP and a dream here.
If they catch out for it, they should. That might be enough to close it out with the Tatsu Super. RINO by the skin of their teeth, taking another game over ElRayomac.
And I was almost certain sitting here that, okay, ElRayomac, you got this. You had to press the ignition, the fireball to really get some meaty damage. RINO saw that, took that paper, crumpled it in the trash, not even, and said, it's not going to work out for me. This is going to work instead for you. And out that dive in instead, Rev gets punished.
Another hard knockdown here with the Rev blow coming in, using the feint and a little bit of float there to try to mix up the defensive options of ElRayomac. They find another jump in wild punish. They have the ignition here. We saw the damage come out before, choosing the hard knockdown for one more guess, and the ambiguous cross-up finds its home. A perfect round for RINO.
Another perfect game at that one. Now to round 2. ElRayomac just trying to find something, anything to grapple onto. Full pun intended, but with these 50-50s, you want the rising knee. It'll work for you. Crouching punch, off the dive in, Tatsu, but forward throw into the headbutt.
With the dance here, looking for that far C as ElRayomac. The distance on that Rev Tatsu might have thrown him off there. Landed at the feet of RINO, but gonna find a wild punish either way. Has a bar of super, they choose to spend it. They will cash out. One more guess for RINO here.
Now trying to jump in instead, side swap. RINO to try to find something, anything. Rev blow, just send hit piece them too casual with it. And ElRayomac saying, perfect, meet perfect. Honestly trying to tie it up here on survival point, but now RINO on set point.
Trying to tie here. ElRayomac is stealing their turn back with the DP there. They're going to go ahead and show off and JD the entire super here. Be a full optimal combo, has 1 bar to deal with. Going to cash out here. 50% down for RINO early.
Of course, we get that Rev blow into it, get the rising knee. Honestly, get the Tatsu Rev, and into the corner you go. Try the fireball feint. Now for RINO, just to get in the corner, down chop for the air, and ElRayomac still very much alive, and oh good lord, still very much alive in this. Sorry, that still jump scares me.
Me and Marco got the same build. Looks just like my dream.
Interesting. In your dreams. You know what? Give it a couple months. We got you on that build though.
Well, we were talking about the distance from that Rev Tatsu right there. That time RINO able to whip punish it with the 2C. Gotta watch those patch notes. Doesn't travel as far as they used to. And RINO just pouring it on now. Another Kuhudun extension. The Rev blow for the hard knockdown.
And back-to-back Rev blows at that one. ElRayomac just being forced to take chip damage before finally want to get the Rev Tatsu. And hell, now is the time to do it. Ignition from this far away forces RINO into the overheat after fireball.
Just smashing out the 2B though is gonna be enough to close out the round. RINO on the verge of victory here. See if ElRayomac can strike back.
One can only hope so. That is set point versus ElRayomac. Barely anywhere close to survival. Now Rev blow. Try to close the distance, get that stone head into the head-to-head. But now, again, Rev into the rush. Now just be back in corner, forces the ignition to get that extra damage.
Don't gotta worry about the overhead if you're gonna go ahead and challenge it. RINO picking it right back up where he left off. Another combo going into the Rev Tatsu there. Excuse me, the Super Tatsu. One more guess is almost on deck for both players. ElRayomac's gonna strike first. Has a stick of butter to work with here. Goes for the ignition gear, not enough to kill.
Oh my goodness, and that just might be enough if you're not careful enough. And now this next decision matters. Cross distance fireball, very obvious, just defense, but from the smoke you get the shuriken, one more, and ElRayomac just couldn't keep the defensive edge up. RINO moves forward here, 3-1 in our top 8 losers round.
Yeah, just a game of hard decisions for RINOmac. SoSickNASHFAN busting out his B.Jenet. I mean, pretty much his, I would say, main character if the character is a little bit better, but did get some buffs there. I saw him break down over the patch, so I'm sure they're very, very excited about the new tools that they're getting. But right now, 126 starting things off early, almost 50% down going into the stance. Not able to find anything off of it, though.
I mean, not just yet, but already onto the wake up, getting that down stomp. Now, a little twirler up in the sky, but SoSickNASHFAN still able to avoid all of it and still able to put 126 back in the corner.
We go, jump see the goat right there. Constantly looking for that cross up. It's one thing that Salvatore mains are constantly going to do because that button in the air does get a little silly there. We're going to cancel into the handstand though to make sure we take our turn back. One more guess is all SoSickNASHFAN has. They're going to wake up, find a bit of damage, and then try to even things up.
And still able to avoid the twister, just full stop here, but not the ignition. All you need on the wake up for 126. At least one up so far in our rounds.
Yeah, waking up with the parry super. I like the call from 126 right there. 5C finding its home, gonna get the full conversion off of it. 5 swaps, we get funky with the jump C. SoSickNASHFAN hasn't been falling for these air approaches thus far, but Salvatore mains like to commit to the bit.
I mean, absolutely. Just a 20-hit piece here, but are you going to wake up, force the defense, now the jump and twister side swap, and still trying to punish SoSickNASHFAN. Instead, throw going to have to work. Back down you go off the shove.
Another anti-air there off of the jump C for SoSickNASHFAN. Oh, big time counter hit at the end of the run canceled there. I like it from 126, but SoSickNASHFAN has just been protecting this guy so well this far.
Already, that packed in damage, even if you risk the overheat. Well, looking almost a little too well for you. Get that double jump overhead. But now, for 126, we can force to tank this damage, running me into the air-to-air from SoSickNASHFAN.
And the ignition gear for the corner carrying the damage. It's a one-game situation where both players got caught pressing on wake up. Big time counter hit for SoSickNASHFAN, evening us up at one round apiece.
Already, that one-to-one action. Just from just at least back distance. Expecting the run-in from SoSickNASHFAN.
Doing the dance here, Jockey in poor position, and both players, the jump C there, able to go ahead and punish the red blow out in the air with 5C. Trying to chase him down and take these plus buttons this far, but SoSickNASHFAN has just kind of been just scattering themselves all over the screen here, getting a nice little optimal B&B into the corner.
Man, already. Get buttery with it, not that twister, but now trying to find the punish. Still nothing for 126, but everything for SoSickNASHFAN right now. I say that a little too soon. We already got the ignition. At least get the pushback. Now, trying to slide delay. Still gets canceled out by SoSick.
Yeah, just trying to navigate the projectile game now. SoSickNASHFAN still barely inside of SPG. Coming in with the revved up. Not enough of the combo. A bit of a drop there. We're going to pick it right back up with the light conversion. SoSickNASHFAN striking blood first in what's kind of been a scramble thus far.
Absolutely. You still love to see the Salvatore Ganache in full action, but for SoSickNASHFAN getting sick nasty with it, and we're only just one game in here. Side swap, double twister, tried the headbutt once, twice, but now make it a third time off the down stop. That rev blow completely getting just defended. Not in that last string though.
126 just using their feints to go ahead and take their plus frames in there. SoSickNASHFAN though has been just doing a great job at interrupting these strings. Drops a bit of the combo there in the red guard for 126 to get some space to run into the slide, trying to mix up their approaches.
Already, one down twister in the second. A crouching punch from that distance. Not sure if it's gonna work out in your favor a little too well here. Okay, now we're just getting into some shenanigans with it. That's fine. For SoSickNASHFAN, the just defense pressure really keeping on guard here.
126 is playing the nice lead, light conversion into the ignition here. Not going to be enough to kill here, but I suspect some kind of jump C setup. The jump D instead, trying to get over a fireball. One thing about Salvatore, he can float over fireballs pretty well. The JD in the air for SoSickNASHFAN and not get caught. But 5C, the GOAT for Salvatore Ganache, enough to close it out.
Get funky with it, as I love to see and say here in a round two. 126 opportunity. I said it's 1-1, but SoSickNASHFAN already on the pass and that fast. But now for 126, instead, let's jump D into the down stomp.
He's continuing to looking for these cross-ups. Not really pressing too many buttons as 126, but trying to get SoSickNASHFAN to guess on the wrong side right there. Try to go for the ignition gear, gets caught fully into the run, putting themselves into overheat though. Not where you want to be against a player like SoSickNASHFAN.
Absolutely not. Just off with 83% left on that overheat, mind you, getting taken down with this damage, but still, we want to be, especially in the ignition, 14-hit piece, casual with it, and you want ignition for ignition, be my guest, says 126, and still an overheat, double splits and still having to tank the rev blow.
Yeah, just gotta stay alive long enough here to get the meter and start trying to take your plus frames back there. SoSickNASHFAN coming right back in. No super on deck, but the wake up fly is gonna be the remedy. The doctor ordered 1 game apiece now.
1-1. Did predict a little earlier, of course. Another 0.25 contribution here. We do thank you for it. But now, hey, we'll say though, if you're interested, match RINO right there. If you want to donate a little more than that, that's fine with us. But for 126 and SoSickNASHFAN, honestly, getting a little too close for comfort here. 1-1. I'm not really expecting. Actually, hold on. Non-factor, would you be expecting a character swap here after that one?
I was gonna say, I think the counter pick you're looking for here is the Hokutomaru, and that's exactly what we're gonna see on screen here. Salvatore does have a hard time dealing with some of the air approaches, especially the side switches with the teleport. So I'm sure 126 is no stranger to this matchup, but it's definitely gonna be an uphill battle from here on.
No, absolutely not. Now instead of the ground game, now we have the air-to-air game off the shurikens of smoking, and now the cross mix-ups that Hokutomaru has to offer. 126 off the twister into the down guard. Double jump into it.
JD and the shurikens right there. This is kind of the situation you get put in if you're Salvatore here. You really want to try to flow over those shurikens, but so many options to get right back in Hokutomaru has, and this is that peculiar range I personally have to go through with this character a lot.
Honestly, that is felt. Now, just defense. 1, 2, 3 more shurikens, and expecting that air-to-air game coming into it. Maybe a jump to 126, but SoSickNASHFAN gets the correct read on that. Now mostly playing ground game. 126 forced the neutral jump, but even that's a risk.
There's Juicy, the goat right there. The button that's cursed to many. SoSickNASHFAN just throwing it out at will behind the shuriken. Trying to go up 2 games to 1. After the character swap might be paying off dividends for him, you're going to force 126 to have to get in and try to stay in. Because we all know no matter what character you play, trying to do that against Hokutomaru, not the easiest thing in the world.
Hell, we have seen this before where it was a Hokutomaru against really just Icebox, who tried to play that air game and was completely grounded, almost damn near the entire time. And 126 getting this jumpy with it does scare me into that shuriken potential. But now that twister is not getting punished, and SoSickNASHFAN getting punished in turn. Huge counter hit into a guaranteed KO.
Yeah, we saw them there just trying to take their turns back with the lights and different options like that. We even saw Farsi find its home and was able to convert off of it right there. Gonna be the key to victory for 126, but SoSickNASHFAN gonna start out early with a life lead, and you might see him just turn back to the shuriken if this corner interaction is gonna work out. The wake up parry scoopers up in 126.
Gonna get that punish, that air-to-air game working to work for SoSickNASHFAN right now, playing the shurikens from this range. Smoke side swap, and now for 126. Get that jump into that crouch punch. Honestly, a little scary. Able to get at least 2 hit piece off of that. A little moderate.
We'll get the run and the launch to go to the ignition gear. Almost evening it up on life here. 126 has been looking for that 5C a lot there. It's going to be plus on block. You have to get the light off of it. SoSickNASHFAN's defense has been so well. They're just counter poking into the ignition gear. I like the call to get the lead.
And just completely leading you on wake up here. The just defense against the twister. And now that air-to-air game again from 126 that SoSickNASHFAN been trying to counter back against. And this just might be it. Does guaranteed damage. And now leads us 2-1 here.
Yeah, I'm sitting over here rubbing my face because I'm like, I relate to this so much what I'm seeing on screen. Just trying to approach Hokutomaru with Sal D in this situation. Definitely a tough task. And 126 has an Hokutomaru of their own, so we may see a character swap if need be.
Honestly, it's not even a matter of might. I'm going to need to see a character swap here because this matchup for Salvatore Ganachi, it's not the hottest one you want to find yourself in. I mean, we saw you try to get the air, the jump-ins, and SoSickNASHFAN was just there to punish off the shurikens alone. It's a Hokutomaru mirror match.
We're going back to week 1.
Howdy.
There's only so many things you can say about this matchup. We've seen it time and time again. The Hokutomaru mirror match right here. I expect a lot of shuriken and a lot of hang time in the air.
I need a sip of my lemonade. Oh, goodness. I already know. Stop you rock.
It's almost at a situation where, you remember in high school and two guys didn't want to fight and they're both just yelling swing first? That's what this match kind of turns into.
Exactly. Swing! Swing! Pull shorts up all the way to navel. Swing! Swing! Now we're doing some swinging of their own. 126 getting possibly perfect game here against SoSickNASHFAN. Wanting to set this 2-2 in this early on.
Get ready. Fight.
Alright, well, the character swap paying dividends thus far. Working out big time for 126, and they're continuing to pour on the pressure here. Has the ignition gear, they choose to go for the damage, but we've seen these Hokutomaru just go for the rev blow for the hard knockdown and set up their offense.
And just staying in the air a little longer, expecting the throw game from SoSickNASHFAN and 126, packing on the damage even further. I will say both are dangerously close to overheat status. You're sure to come from this range like that, and still the counter hit from ground, back to air, side swap, counter hit, back elbow, and now the ignition switch coming into it. Full force for one more, still gets punished and blocked.
Be a big time punisher. SoSickNASHFAN has the bar, chooses to spend it almost even on life here. Chooses to wake up with their own ignition gear, but the character knowledge fighting with SoSickNASHFAN. The safe jump gonna work out for him, but it's not enough to kill here.
Oh! Able to get the throw tech on top of that, tried the rev blow, but now have to watch out for this air-to-air game. Or I should say air-to-ground off the shurikens once, twice, 3 times, gets blocked in turn for more! And now that's gonna be the damage. 126. Able to come back, claw their way back, 2-2.
Yeah, as close as you can paint it is exactly what it was. Down to an absolute scramble there. One hit for both players, but 126 just able to mash out the 2B. And I suspect we might see the Billy Kane this time around from SoSickNASHFAN as we continue to play the counter pick game. Oh, it's going to be the Marco.
Oh, the Marco to try and, like, listen. You have shurikens, you want to go 50-50 central, honestly, with a very nice piece of hair here, then that's going to have to work out for me.
All right, well, we've seen this matchup before between two different players, and it was kind of hard for Marco to catch the little ninja boy, but we'll see if SoSickNASHFAN can make something happen. They are familiar with the character just because they also play them. So trying to use Marco's movement options early, coming in with the lights and getting themselves the throw. So nice, we'll sow it twice.
Exactly. The third time here, you want that Hotaru that's going to have to work out, or maybe not that down elbow. A little bit of fireball action. Nasty, sick down chop in the rev rush. And for SoSickNASHFAN, honestly, the Marco starting to look a little too clean here now. 126, trying to force the tie. Now it's set point.
Yeah, might have noticed 126 was whipping a lot of buttons there, able to whip with the par C right there, but 126 answering right back, using the rev guard to try to bait out the DP. Someone was home on that one. It's going to be a full extension into the hard knockdown.
Get the rev blow, but get that DP in turn, and now want to close the gap, especially a little light chop. The Tatsu from the air. Now for SoSickNASHFAN, missing this much health, but 126 in turn. Wanting to risk the overheat even like this. Jump in, a little scary.
Wake up ignition gear there, not enough to kill. Using the hang time, little boot to the face for 126. And don't look now, but it's final game, final round with tournament life on the line.
That final round, I would like to say, but now from the air, try that shuriken. 126 forced to push back here. Now for SoSickNASHFAN, still getting the rev blow, down chop again, tried to jump in, head to head, quite literally the grab.
Let's have those 3 bars of super. End up going for the hard knockdown. They're going to block it. They're going to JD to show off here. Has 2 bars of super. No! And we're going to go ahead and hit the Alt F4 in the middle of the JD. I get it. I hate to see it, but I get it. Out 2 fan favorites going head to head here on the winner's side.
Man, not just that aerial approach, but then the ground game, because if I remember correctly, I mean, obviously Billy Kane has that range off the cane in the first place. No full pun intended, but it is true. For DELTARMENTA, I will say, already has the SPG available, but still getting put through their paces, especially off this ground game damage.
Yeah, and Yurikov just playing at a great range right now. We're trying to keep DELTARMENTA jailed in the corner there. No punish off of the whiff or rev blow, but an air throw. Yurikov was showing that last night at the breakout series is not an option we've seen from a lot of Hokutomaru mains, but just protecting the skies as Yurikov.
And absolutely, trying to shuriken again, but Yurikov still put it in paces of DELTARMENTA. That jump in, jump back down the Billy Kane.
Out, going into the color guard twirl there. Let's have the ignition gear if they choose to spin it. Gonna take the knockdown here. JD's on the side of Yurikov. Defense looking on point.
Get that running knee. And really just keeping Yurikov trapped in a corner here with that back heel kick. But now, for the breakout, not for long though. DELTARMENTA take it to the skies, get the twirl again. And honestly, 17 moderate hit piece. You want the engage into the fire twirl. Gonna work for you.
DELTARMENTA striking blood first. It's both the game entirely on the right side of the screen there. Defense been on point for both players as far as I say that. DELTARMENTA opening up the great JD. The backdash into the wild punish. It's going to be enough to take Yurikov out of SPG here.
Moves just for now. Get that jump in off the side swap. Full bait of the ignition, and Yurikov really feeling full brunt of pressure. Now DELTARMENTA try it again. Yurikov has to force just adjust defense. Get that back elbow punish. Side swap. Force the grab. Whiffs completely.
You see the door right there into the Kuhadan extension. Does have the level 1. Chooses to go with the ignition gear. Still inside of SPG as DELTARMENTA barely taken out of it. And we're going right back to the right side of the screen.
We're trying to throw again, but DELTARMENTA complete read, micro back step and a half. And honestly able to take this first game against Yurikov.
Round 1.
Yeah, we talked about how Billy Kane is kind of the counter pick to Hokutomaru right now. DELTARMENTA showing exactly why. They punish there from Yurikov though into the full extension. Gonna try to get some corner carry and the hard knockdown here.
Absolutely. Now the SPG available for DELTARMENTA might not even matter. Just defense, but that air-to-air. Good pressure from Yurikov, but throw broken out of completely.
Another 2C fighting its own there, slowly building up that super gauge. Another hard knockdown. It's where Hokutomaru's really like to start get cooking here, looking for the lows. They end up whipping the air throw on purpose just to get the hang time. I like the call there. Yurikov with a perfect round.
Smart, but honestly, a bit of a risky call. Hell, still worked in the end. And now for Yurikov. Opportunity side is 1-1. Gets the air-to-air off the shurikens, though, that we haven't seen from good check of Hokutomaru's throughout our night. But DELTARMENTA, responds in turn. You want the ignition switch, fire twirl in the air, and down back below. Exploder! And now for the counter hit from Yurikov. Another string here.
The dashing forward with Super. I like the call to get DELTARMENTA out of SPG. Running in, forcing a hard guess. DELTARMENTA taking the skies, gets the air-to-air there. So far it's been a scramble, but everything's turning up Yurikov in this situation. Another jumping gonna find their home. Business decision time for DELTARMENTA.
Absolutely. Sandy kick for DELTARMENTA. It's like 1 HP in the dream all over again. That ground shuriken, not able to put you through a loop, but the throw attack, smart on that. Yurikov fully risking the overheat. Gonna be just enough off the slide. Now, good tie. 1-1 here in our winner semis.
Yeah, great adjustments from Yurikov this far there. The anti-airs were looking on point, and they were just a little more aggressive than you've seen them in the first game, and was able to go ahead and kind of crack the code of DELTARMENTA's defense. 1 game apiece now.
Moving air, but back down below on the ground. Yurikov, full combo string, whiffs on the grab, and DELTARMENTA getting in, back cane pull, and from that distance, the rev in turn.
Another meaty button on top of that. Yurikov in a tough spot right now. DELTARMENTA might just need one more conversion to close this entire thing out here, but the JD still on point from Yurikov. They'll punish off the shoulder charge there. We're going to stick to the strings, slowly poking away with the 2B and the stand A, turning chips into chunks as DELTARMENTA.
Round 2. Get
For any chips that you do have, if you're on the side of Yurikov, now is the time to cash them in. And I say that, shuriken, expecting that air-to-air. So getting it full turn punish as DELTARMENTA not able to avoid the grab, protect it at that, but back in the corner. Now finding it off the kicks, side swap into it, and Yurikov is doing the brunt of damage, especially off the back cane pull again.
Good punish there for Yurikov. Does have the ignition gear. Sure, they will spin it to get DELTARMENTA out of SPG. One more good situation here. The defense has been on point, but just couldn't JD the second hit there. Peppering in the lights once again is Yurikov. DELTARMENTA getting the side switch.
Of course, switch a little while more so need. And Yurikov again, it's a 1-1 potential opportunity. The final round to put this to 2-1. But I say that DELTARMENTA playing a slow game, not going for the jump-in options that we have been seeing a couple of earlier rounds before.
And there's the option right there to poke Hokutomaru out of the sky here. DELTARMENTA sitting with 2 bars of super on deck, taking Yurikov out of the SPG, and no hitting here on deck for them now, but a counter hit in return. Does have some super to work with here. Choosing not to put DELTARMENTA to the SPG. Gotta be aware of the fact that that's got that big damage. And speaking of, the wake up super from Deltar.
Guard? Not just yet. Guard cancel. And now Yurikov still guaranteeing at least a little bit of damage. Shuriken straight from the counter hit. And now for DELTARMENTA still leading into a good punish though off the ignition. And now watch for the wake up game. Watch it once, watch it twice here.
And watch it 3 times. The jumping coming up. All Yurikov taking a 2-1 lead. Seems like Yurikov is in the business of causing a scramble here, Ash.
I'm saying an already possibility to maybe set this 3-1, but we have seen this before. DELTARMENTA is still not to be trifled with, especially off the Billy Kane. And that's what scares me.
Yeah, we just haven't seen DELTARMENTA in a situation where they can cash out really a lot of that meter, a couple of wake-up ignition gears, and, you know, conversions off of lights here, but not too much big chunks of damage. Speaking of, though, gonna be about 50% down early is Yurikov.
Of course, trying to throw again, but that back elbow from Yurikov. Honestly, was expecting it to be a bit of a combo starter, but couldn't find it at least that once. But hey, you do it twice, third time's a charm, damn near here. And into the ignition gear again, DELTARMENTA. I mean, that's 50% of your HP gone, even more so into the corner again.
Yeah, these lights have just been pestering DELTARMENTA the entire set thus far. Trying to come in, but the guard cancel punish there, and just sniping DELTARMENTA out of the air with a Rev Shuriken. 1 round away from closing this bad boy out.
Yurikov on set point here. For DELTARMENTA, now is do or die if you want survival point. Has to block against the Shurikens. Once into the air, Yurikov predicts it again off the jump in.
DELTARMENTA trying to come in with that 2B there, preemptively looking for an anti-air there, but Yurikov staying on the ground, and as I say that, starts taking to the skies once again there. DELTARMENTA just seems like he's almost trying to predict what's going to happen on the next step here. See if Yurikov can take advantage of that and find a punish once he hits the ground.
Absolutely. It's concerning. Considering Yurikov has SPG this early, DELTARMENTA going to take damage, but wait for it a little bit later and say that already. Get that fireball and the donkey kick up turn, but it's going to work a second time here. Now into the back corner, Rev blow for Yurikov, and still has the SPG available.
Empty jump low, such a good tool from Hokutomaru. Gonna spell disaster for DELTARMENTA. Yurikov looking solid, great adjustments, a 3-1. It's gonna be punching their ticket over into winners finals.
And we'll say DELTARMENTA still opportunity to be able to
Trying to find a way over into winners finals.
round 1. We've seen the damage that Supergrenas has to offer, but Ryuki even more so. Back elbow gonna catch you into that Rekka combo. And now, the SPG on the table for Ryuki. Even more so now, it's finally here, but still with as much health as getting whittled down. Might not be enough, especially after that jump in! Rev blow for Rev blow.
Yeah, big time reaction there from Supergrenas. Not enough to close it out. Did build up a bar of super. Ryuki gonna mash out the 5A here. Not enough to take Supergrenas out of SPG. And if you know Supergrenas on command, I was about to say it, they're gonna wake up with that Rev blow at any point. Supergrenas running their offense down to a T up 1 round.
And Ryuki found out very well. It's a little risky to run up on Supergrenas just like that out of nowhere. But now, going for Super Wave instead. That kicks, still Champ showing through the damage, and Supergrenas opportunity punishes the corner just off of 1 little counter hit, but the twisters to close the gap from neutral.
That was a great JD there as you're approaching, but Ryuki's gonna go ahead and pick it up where they left off. Back to the neutral we go. Supergrenas been looking for these wake ups, not fully committing though. Ryuki playing with a life advantage, straight to the plasma here. Gotta be careful with Supergrenas, sitting on 2 full sticks of super. Gets the anti-air. I see we might cash out the ignition gear to get Ryuki out of the SPG. Yes, we will.
Into the overheat still, Ryuki gonna burn off this damage. And honestly, guaranteed kill. A literal, that's not even a punch, that is quite literally a gun. A full-on gun in Muay Thai shorts.
Alright, Supergrenas looking great thus far. Ryuki just struggling to get some offense going, but Supergrenas is so good at playing with the life lead.
Round 1.
Looking in chat, Country Game saying that's why you don't zone her. I understand it now. I am so sorry for doubting that.
Alright, picking things up where they left off. Supergrenas carry Ryuki over to the corner here. Looks for the jump and puts themselves in the corner, but continuing to do the damage, and happy little accident gonna work out for Supergrenas.
And that back throw though coming in from Ryuki, and the just defense from Supergrenas expecting the damage. Now you can see Ryuki just trying to find and really just bailing out anything off of power wave return, but the twister able to jump right over into that overhead burn knuckle on the ender.
Wake up ignition gear though from Supergrenas, not wanting to hold the pressure. Taking that round with a risky wake up, but it's gonna work out for him.
Hey, all risk, all reward for Supergrenas. Like I say time and time again, but off the jump in knee for Ryuki right now. No, instead, eat this uppercut, burn knuckle, overhead, get the ignition switch, power wave again.
As a great reaction with the high dodge there, they finally counteract these Rev blows that Supergrenas just kind of throws out at a whim. 50% down now is Supergrenas. JD on the anti-air though, but we're going to pick it right back up. Ryuki on the verge of closing things out, has the ignition gear. If they choose to spend, they will.
Absolutely. And now at least for Ryuki. Tourney put this 1-1. Now at least 1-1 in our rounds here. Going for another power wave off the run up. Just defense though from Supergrenas.
The fireball game here, Ryuki. Yeah, mash on those buttons are gonna work out for him, and they bait out a big DP from the side of Supergrenas. Doesn't have any super on top of it, but gets the corner carry.
Absolutely. Tried that jump up, expecting the throw, but for Ryuki, still keeping up off the pressure. Burn knuckle overhead to get you through your paces. Now that just defense. Good air-to-air damage though into that back elbow.
Staggering their offense though, Supergrenas finding a counter hit. Does have 2 bars of super on deck, no hitting gear, but earning these little conversions into chunks with the ignition gear.
Not as much of a gun as damage you'd expect from Supergrenas here, but still have to kick, get the twister, and now that's good damage for Ryuki. Not really feeling the brunt of it in corner, especially has to find ignition switch of their own into the power wave, and that's going to put us 1-1 so far in our winter semis.
Yeah, it's a kind of a theme we've seen all tournament long. One character just wants to fight with the life lead and then just kind of zone it out from there, and the other wants to force the scramble. Ryuki right there, trying to make things messy, working out for him 1 game apiece here, but Supergrenas opening up with a nice chunk of change of their own.
I mean, that's true. No matter how hard you really try to zone, Supergrenas always has a response in turn. But for Ryuki, though, they're forcing a lot. Baiting switches. But Supergrenas, of course, responds in turn, not able to avoid the upper. Power wave, though, can catch you off a low. Good jump over into that combo confirmed.
Yeah, great timing over the fireball there and getting themselves a nice chunk of damage in. Right there, converting off of the 2C. Didn't choose to go to the ignition here in overheat now, but we're just going to mash out the lights to close out the round. Supergrenas to turn into a 1-player game.
Absolutely. Just one way from putting this to 2-1 and maybe running away from it there, but counteract against a twister once with the power wave and try the ignition, but still gets countered heavily. That is 50, dang near 20% of your health gone in a snap. Ryuki responds in turn off the rev blow, tries to jump in, but double just defense here, and only now able to find something off the burn knuckle in the step back.
Ryuki's done a great job thus far of just kind of staggering his strings and his different offensive approaches, kind of throwing Supergrenas off kilter here, trying to find the anti-air there. Supergrenas gonna get themselves a punish though. Take Ryuki out of an SPG, get the damage in with the ignition gear, and it's business decision time.
Absolutely. One bad business decision, all your stocks gone just like that. You should get the mega power wave, and that's not the best decision. Ryuki gets gapped, backstepped, and Supergrenas puts this 2-1. One away from being able to claw their way out of winter semis into our finals.
Unfortunate spacing on the burn knuckle there, not going to work out for Ryuki. Supergrenas says, I'll take that though, 1 game away. See what the opening approach is going to be here. Ryuki's still sticking to the power wave, although Supergrenas has done a great job this far, looking for the red blower, jumping right over.
Absolutely, but still, the upper, the air, and now the overhead gets punished off Supergrenas' own uppercut. Still, double, triple just defense into the counter hit, overhead again, burn knuckle, and now with the run up, just defense be damned.
Peppering the strings there, DP break from the side of Supergrenas, gonna get themselves some space here and the side switch with the ignition gear.
Now, overhead in slow motion, wild punish into it, and Supergrenas, that Rekka combo into the corner like this. And honestly, for the ignition, that mega power wave at the jump over Ryuki. Might have risked this. It's a little too close here. Off that wake up twister, able to defense.
But a throw tech to keep themselves alive. Now inside overheat. Gotta watch that guard. Chasing the power wave is Ryuki here. Both players now in overheat. Defense on point this far. Turning the power wave, trying to get the chip. Right back at you, says Supergrenas with the projectile of their own. 1 round away from closing out the set.
On set point here for Supergrenas, Ryuki. Now, he has to play this, honestly, almost perfectly. Now another Rekka combo. Put you in the corner. 10 hit piece and counting. Get the gun.
Supergrenas is finding so much work off of this 2C right there, finding work off the neutral jump to bait out the throw. Ryuki in a tough spot here. Just 10 seconds already off the clock, mashing it out to get some space. But the rev blow over the top to close it out. Supergrenas will not be denied, and they've just set themselves up for a match against Yurikov over in winners finals.
Full concussion protocol activated after that last overhead. Supergrenas 3-1 over Ryuki, which, Ryuki, opportunity to come back in losers matches. but still, this winter finals,
Round
This right here, a matchup, a tale of as old as time right here.
SPG.
absolutely. We'll to see it for some, maybe for others, be like, I've seen this before, let's stop it now. But obviously, the just defense into straight burn knuckle overhead again. Now, if you are RINO, gonna counteract against this, especially off the flips, side swap.
We go to hang time to find the cross up there. Not able to finish the string. Ryuki is going to bust out with the power dump right there. So nice, we'll show it twice, just trying to break up the strings from RINO.
It's still a break out of anything, at least just yet from RINO. Still side swap for side swap, and still able to pressure with back-to-back triple combo confirmed.
Catch the air, straight on the cross, trying to chase down with the burn knuckle, but the JD is on point from the side of RINO. Ryuki only stand a couple more hits, and as we say it, RINO finds those 3 to close out the round.
Round 2.
Now headed into round 2, Ryuki, really just especially, what, get that air overhead, get it again, stand heavy, and now into the power wave.
Almost 50% down now for RINO. Gonna get some corner carry there off of the Kula down. Does have 2 bars of super to work with, trying to shallow hop and break this defense of Ryuki thus far, but staying put, stuck in the corner is RINO.
Burn knuckle again into the air, but not able to find anything after the fact, just defense of that back elbow. Now for RINO, off that jump in, getting the knee, guard cancel though, and still for Ryuki. Holy, okay, RINO is really playing this defensive game a little too well, finally gets the wild punish.
The JDs have been on point, turning defense into offense here. Lashing out with the ignition gear, big time damage off the Cotw super. One more guess is all it's gonna be. RINO not able to confirm there. Ryuki just gonna mash out the super, coming right back in with the burn knuckle, looking for some chip damage. Poorly spaced button from the side of RINO, getting met in with a burn knuckle and a little bit of a gamer squat there.
Also, I'm not the only one who saw that, just shreds of a teabag at the end of it. I'm not saying I saw anything, but it looked a little too familiar here, and if you are RINO, you personally wouldn't take that. I say that already. Crush, counter hit. See just a little piece combo against Ryuki. Get the ignition. Let's force the SPG.
Getting a hard knockdown there is Ryuki, looking for the cross up right there, just a little too close, and RINO right now just continuing to go to these floats, trying to find these spots ups and then different offensive approaches this far, but as I say that, switching over to the shuriken here and playing with a little bit of a life lead, might want to go to Johny.
Oh, absolutely. Tourney getting closed very fast here, especially as RINO does just in turn. Now for Ryuki. Careful enough. Yeah, that's dead.
No super needed. Hokutomaru still doing his damage like it is season 1. Not too many changes over on that front, and RINO getting pretty with a nice 1-game lead over Ryuki thus far, using the mobility options of Hokutomaru to kind of throw Ryuki off of the defensive prowess. And speaking of defensive prowess, RINO was completely on point with their JDs that last game.
I'm saying we saw 1, 2, 3 JDs in a row, and then even more. So after the fact, Ryuki just couldn't break through them, and then RINO responded in turn, combo their own. But hey, speaking of that, 2 JDs met with a quick throw. Mostly one more in turn at that, but gut check. So we break it up here.
Trying to press some work off the 2C there. Either way, breaking down the defense of RINO, going over the top with the overhead, gets the throw. One more guess, all it's going to take. Mash out the 2A.
Uh-oh. That throw tech, though. Power wave! And RINO caught dead center. Ryuki by 1 round.
Yeah, right when you needed the JDs, they weren't home for you, but we're just 1 round down now here in the second game. Ryuki going to cash out big time, though. RINO, no SPG on the table for the rest of the round.
Absolutely not. Double JD and into the sky. That air counter hanging from RINO, but Ryuki might not be enough. Another little piece here. 8-hit combo. And the shuriken jump over. RINO still able to get the bait.
Oh, try to look to cash out with the ignition gear, but just missed the link on that one. Ryuki's going to make him pay big time into the power geyser. 1 more hit, it's all it's going to take. The air rev blow. Just what the doctor ordered. Ryuki tying things up 1 game apiece.
You know, you say that, I thought the doctor specifically ordered Advil because that's going to be a nasty headache to deal with after.
Oh, yeah. Big time damage that we see from Gary night in and night out. Whiffing the crack shoot there and just mashing out the 2B for a little chip of damage as RINO.
Absolutely. Stand heavy overhead. And now get into it again. Back elbow. Get it off the shoulder tackle. And now for RINO. Feeling the brunt of it. I want to say starting to lose a little bit of steam here. And I might have spoken a little too soon. And against Ryuki, still finds it off the upper. Burn knuckle overhead again.
Yeah, They haven't been afraid to wake up with these power dunks thus far. They've been finding home more often than not, and they've been feeling the neutral over and over with this bird knuckle shades of Street Fighter 6, but it's working out for him. RINO continuing to play with this life deficit and just not really working out for him.
I mean, hell, if we're talking shades of Street Fighter 6, I'm fully expecting to hear one of these moments, "Are you okay?" But not just yet, at least for RINO. Wanting to stop that in its tracks entirely. And for Ryuki, this one's really gonna hurt. Into the tornado, the jump in. Honestly, jump back out here. Stand heavy kick. Ooh!
Gets caught with the Rev Shuriken in that spot right there. One round up for RINO. Trying to get this 2-1 lead here. Continuing to take the skies and using the hang time to throw off Ryuki's defense. But just being so stout this far, and they continue to get him with the burn knuckle to take their turn back.
Especially out of Rev Blow and had to force the throw in the gambit, but now for RINO. Stops in turn, good wild punish, and for Ryuki, close to SPG, has it available. Find a way to use it, just defense. And there we go, reversal. Not gonna be enough though for RINO. Just to be able to counter back against Power Wave hitting from that angle and distance is kind of wild.
Yeah, that hitbox is just so big. You know, RINO really wanted to confirm probably into that hidden gear. Not going to work for him in that situation. Now an overheat. Ryuki has him exactly where he wants him. Staggering the lights. Gets the counter hit there. RINO's going to answer back with a series of his own.
Absolutely. Just like an overheat, real scary. Has to force, not just a pushback, but burn knuckle, putting you in the corner like this. Not the best place you want to find yourself in. The jump back out was fully expecting the power wave, one ignition, two ignition to hit through and try to chunk, but still catches you off another mega power wave into it from Ryuki.
These guys are spending a lot of meter to try to close out one round there. Unfortunately, RINO spending it all. Not going to have anything going forward until they build it up, but Ryuki able to catch up the ignition gear exactly when they needed to close out the round. RINO still helping inside of SPG. A throw will solve that equation a little bit better. So nice, will sew it twice.
Oh no. You know, do it again. Two forward throws. Put you through your paces. Not the just defense, trying it again, but RINO not punishing. Make it a time. Or throws a charm. We'll throw loop 6. No. Throw City of the Wolves. That works for me. But air to air, power wave, but the ignition switch. Ryuki paying heavily for it.
Very optimal, barely taking Ryuki out of SPG with the ignition gear there, the level 1, all they're going to need. Actually, Billy inside, but as I said, it gets taken out with the wild punish. Might be able to build up enough super in this situation. Not quite, one more guess, and they go low with it. RINO with a 2-1 lead over Ryuki now.
Got a little too close for comfort if you are RINO. Listen, I imagine happy having the shakes by now. Just gotta walk it off. Hands probably trembling a little bit after that, being like, hey, I just went through 3 throws after the fact, just defense. My shurikens weren't even working for a damn, at least for a minute, but that's fine. Get in the next game like this.
Another whiff. Actually, try to punish with a Kula gun right there instead of a button. Not going to work out. Ryuki going to get a punish off of it, and over to the corner we go.
Corner wild punish into it. That stand combo mix. Now with the side swap. Ryuki has the overhead. Work out, just playing that neutral game with a power wave complete counteract.
Yeah, we see Ryuki kind of tentative to throw out the power waves unless it's full screen and then try to chase behind him. Thus far, not finding too much success off of it. Far punish there, but continuing to go into the burn knuckle again. Confirming into the ignition gear. RINO a little low on life here.
Burn knuckle, please try it again, but Ryuki gets punished for it instead. Off the wake up, back tackle, and dack bound to the ground. As RINO right now, counter hit central for you. And that's going to be Ryuki up by 1 here in our rounds.
Yeah, we've seen RINO kind of get out of bad situations by mashing out the 2A there. So Ryuki just beating the punch, finding those counter hits in that corner situation. But JD still on point for the side of RINO, taking the air, gets anti-aired. Power dunk break, going to work out for Ryuki.
Absolutely. Low, but instead, try the air. The anti-air working out just a little too well. Power wave ignition. Now Ryuki just keeping RINO trapped in the corner like this. Rising tackle and the overheat risk doesn't even matter. That's going to be 2-2 in our losers quarters.
And a final game coming up with your tournament life on the line. It's been back and forth thus far. Seems like RINO, you know, as you pointed out, might be losing a little bit of steam, but last time we said they answered very, very quickly.
I'm saying, honestly, Ryuki really started to catch up, especially a lot of these bait and switches in the power waves at that, expecting RINO to just jump back down, but he had that double jump to worry about. Instead, a little bit of a schmix, and now that SPG in. Ryuki tuning on wake up, shoulder bash, get back down to the ground. Oh!
Early inside of SPG for RINO, but the grab's going to solve that for Ryuki right there. Trying to meet him with the meaty button, just mashing out the 2B again is RINO. Ryuki barely inside of SPG, letting the rev blow go, but no one home on that one.
Absolutely not. RINO right now, I'm gonna say looking it's a little too worse for wear. Shuriken, meet power wave, and in this guy tried to jump in, but Ryuki off the just defense. At least 4 now. Jumping again for RINO. 2 JDs in a row, and now bit of a schmixer again.
Looking for those low lights, trying to catch Ryuki walking back or maybe pressing something, using the movement off, and she gets in with the crack shoot there, but baiting out the throw. The neutral jump is going to solve all of RINO's problems, 1 round away from closing it out.
Get ready.
Uh-oh, on set point for RINO, who did say earlier was looking like he was running out of steam, but maybe not just yet. Put a little back, steam burner, now 15 hits into it, force the ignition into heavy twister. And for Ryuki, you saw how much life that was just gone. Now your SPG will be available after the fact. Overhead, try tackle again. RINO gets in turn, big ass fireball.
Oh, just continuing to throw out the lights there. Unfortunately, not able to get over the power geyser in the situation, but just has to breathe on Ryuki to close it out. Ryuki coming right back in and running down and after. Gotta play the spacing game.
No way!
Get in. The power jump finds its home to get the juggle. It's not enough to kill. One more hit to close it out. The one up super, and the chip is gonna go ahead and counteract the power wave from Ryuki. RINO in the middle of a scramble, taking it 3-2 over Ryuki.
That scared the living hell out of me. I was losers corners.
Get ready.
Yeah, SoSickNASHFAN choosing to rock with the B.Jenet, one of the characters that did get some decent buffs. SoSickNASH and the team make this character work. Did rock with her in Season 1. Continuing to show that she does do quite a bit of damage there. Able to get the full juggle off of it. DELTARMENTA now in SPG. Great call for the throw there.
Question chat, Poacher Chef saying, what has Nash been playing B.Jenet tonight? You might have to ask SoSickNASHFAN. That's not a question you need.
It working out for him though with the perfect round right there. It's the character they believed in over in Season 1, so she did receive a little bit of buff. SoSickNASHFAN trying to push the issue.
Getting in, tackle. 16 hit piece. After SoSickNASHFAN really putting DELTARMENTA. There's no way this is another perfect game, right?
Oh, we might be seeing a replay of the first one. That might be enough to close it out. Oh, barely outside. Oh, no, it's perfect. Oh, my goodness, the double P. SoSickNASHFAN. I have to call her P.Jenet.
About to say, pushing P, wild. Double back-to-back perfects here for SoSickNASHFAN. This is insane, I can't lie. But already, about to be ruined in turn. DELTARMENTA, also getting privy to it, and now back on the ground though, still falls victim. B.Jenet combo in full force.
The corner carry of B.Jenet just so potent. You see DELTARMENTA get taken all the way to the corner there, going over the top off the easy. The Lindy's rev blows low, and they find another one there. That time it is going to go ahead and find its home.
Absolutely. Now for DELTARMENTA, just can't find anything to get out of this corner. Now for SoSickNASHFAN, full advantage, even risking the overheat doesn't even matter. Low sweep. And honestly, that air-to-air catching you through a loop.
Yeah, we might have to call that one the gentleman's perfect. DELTARMENTA did get a little bit of damage in there, but just completely one-sided thus far. SoSickNASHFAN showing the power of B.Jenet.
Of course, already backslap coming in from SoSickNASHFAN. Now for DELTARMENTA, trying to play this range game. No pullback on the cane. Which, range on that, I will still say it is insane. Patch notes? What patch notes?
I said the patch notes are a suggestion. Speaking of which, there's the 2B conversion for DELTARMENTA. And in the ignition gear, not enough to take SoSickNASHFAN out of SPG, but finally trying to get their offense started as SoSickNASHFAN continues to just faint into these heavies over and over and over.
Gosh, this neutral game just straight into the attack has not been fun for DELTARMENTA in the first place. SoSickNASHFAN just fully there even on the wake up. I'm not gonna lie, that was not the smartest ignition hit coming into it. And SoSickNASHFAN full JD into just a little piece combo of their own, saying that was fun. Watch this ignition though.
I like the call from DELTARMENTA. They're just trying to break up the strings, but unfortunately the ignition gear not working out for them. And in the blink of an eye, SoSickNASHFAN might have somewhere to be after the tournament because they're speed running through this match.
Man, I'm saying, no switch up or anything from SoSickNASHFAN. I mean, hell, they did lose. It would have been fun to see the Marco again in the first place, but not this time. B.Jenet looking too well, but DELTARMENTA finally getting some momentum on top of that. Get the cane hit to be, but no, dead from the ground, just playing the range game.
And it's a situation we haven't seen SoSickNASHFAN in just yet with their B.Jenet against DELTARMENTA. Just kind of playing at a life deficit, see if they can get around the long stick from DELTARMENTA. Trying to jump in, end up getting the throw off of that.
We hope so, but good counter hit from DELTARMENTA leading into it. The Skyfire Twirler. Now for SoSickNASHFAN. A little worse for wear. One giant cane sweep and a dream off that DELTARMENTA overhead. And now, opportunity to really try and keep yourself alive here.
Oh, upper body invincible right there. I love the anti-air. Great reaction from the side of DELTARMENTA. SoSickNASHFAN likes to approach the exact same way in the opening round. So DELTARMENTA taking notes, slowly cracking the code of this B.Jenet.
From this distance, trying a little twister. Scary with it. It's DELTARMENTA just playing that footsies game. Good jump over neutral. Trying to play the block.
Just doing the dance here. DELTARMENTA not in a rush with this life lead right here. Trying to make SoSickNASHFAN force the option. They've been having to take to the air a lot to open up their offense until DELTARMENTA is ready with the anti-airs.
Absolutely. SoSickNASHFAN close the gap here. Only able to find just a little bit of damage for DELTARMENTA. Full rush in, able to get the counter, but the hyper defense game from SoSickNASHFAN. Sick nasty with it. Tried that upper, but the cross up from DELTARMENTA with a fire twirl in the sky.
And the stagger the buttons again has 2 bars of super to work with there. Finally gets an opening. Not to go with the ignition gear here, just a small little chunk of change, but in the throw, DELTARMENTA now in SPG.
Push, a wild punish, but the cane sends you back down to the sky. The cross up though, good throw tech, full expecting it. Now for SoSickNASHFAN, closing the gap, but still another big ass cane to the face. DELTARMENTA now puts us to 1-2 against SoSickNASHFAN.
Round 1.
All right, and going right back into it. No character swap from SoSickNASHFAN. You suspect they might have just knowledge checked in the beginning and looked for something else, but gonna stick with the B.Jenet, the air rev blow to get through the poke from DELTARMENTA. And we've seen this in the first 2 games. It was kind of DELTARMENTA just stuck in the corner and taking everything SoSickNASHFAN was throwing at him.
Absolutely, but the cross side switch again. Sky Cane, but now we have the throw forward at that against SoSickNASHFAN, who has to press adjust defense, but from this range, hard to do so for DELTARMENTA. SPG unlocked.
DELTARMENTA been finding a lot of space with their Reblo right there. The hyper defense from SoSickNASHFAN going into the ignition gear, but a wild punish from the side of DELTARMENTA might be enough to kill here with the ignition gear. Chooses not to go directly into it.
Genuinely so, but 1, 2, 3 JDs in a row. Honestly, a little scared, but not for DELTARMENTA. Now able to take another round of the books here.
Yeah, slowly starting to crack the code here. As we pointed out, SoSickNASHFAN has been opening by jumping or going to an aerial approach here. DELTARMENTA able to step it out and kind of force SoSickNASHFAN to change up the game, but right now the old approach is working. Into the corner you go, down 40%.
Absolutely. Jump in action. Back step, and now for SoSickNASHFAN, gets thrown back in the corner, keeping it trapped. Has to press the ignition, gonna jab their way out of this and against DELTARMENTA. Risking it, 50% damage, health gone. Counter hit once, twice, 3 times, you know what? Make it an 8-piece combo and counting! And into the sky for SoSickNASHFAN. Find themselves on set point.
Get ready. Fight.
There's 1 more to go for SoSickNASHFAN. Opening things up with a Reblo. Mixing up the approach differently off the start of the round. DELTARMENTA find themselves in a familiar and uncomfortable spot here. But the wake-up ignition gear covering all angles for Billy Kane.
Just not even able to find the jump over that hitbox, almost a little too large, even off the flames. And now, with a forward throw against SoSickNASHFAN, down stomping the cane, DELTARMENTA keeping the pressure. Honestly, no JDs here.
Man finding their hit. Does have the ignition gear if they choose to stand. I suspect they will. See if it is enough to kill. Survey says you are dead. 2 games apiece now. DELTARMENTA with an amazing adjustment to come back on SoSickNASHFAN.
Uh-oh, now 2-2. I imagine for SoSickNASHFAN, I mean, I really wouldn't expect the character swap here unless you're not that comfy. Okay, there we go. No swap. Still sticking with the B.Jenet. Honestly, it might just be the best for the matchup here.
Yeah, I respect sticking to your guns, but tournament life is on the line for both of these players right now, so the do-or-die spot. DELTARMENTA getting the throw. Trying to get SoSickNASHFAN out of an SPG early. Great guard canceled there, and the punish. The meeting in the skies of DELTARMENTA.
Lost the forward throw again, and try to grab, but SoSickNASHFAN is honestly smart enough to it, able to step out, but still the just defense. And now for the punish, get it in as well as you can for DELTARMENTA though. Full crush off the counter hit.
Should be enough to take DELTARMENTA at FPG right here with the juggle. SoSickNASHFAN still barely inside. Try to mix up their offensive approaches, staggering their buttons, but the high dodge from DELTARMENTA to open things up and get the side switch as well.
An absolutely good jump in confirmed for SoSickNASHFAN against DELTARMENTA. Definitely needed, especially the last swing of the rev blow. Already again on set point.
If DELTARMENTA can force us into a final round here, both players entering with a 1 bar of super. DELTARMENTA spending early, trying to get SoSickNASHFAN out of SPG, chasing down with the overhead.
Already trying to chase with the throw at that, but SoSickNASHFAN saying, you know what, beat these chops instead. High heels right to the chest, and now off the ignition at that one for DELTARMENTA. Now it's do or die.
Side swap there, not able to find a punish early as SoSickNASHFAN. Almost equal health as we turn to the JDs to build up a little bit of that health. Gets caught with the air rev blow.
Already back in the corner, trying to that air-to-air, but SoSickNASHFAN still careening down to the ground just as fast. Trying to throw neutral jump for the bait, and against DELTARMENTA, not careful enough. I think this is dead.
Into the ignition gear, all she wrote. SoSickNASHFAN sticking with the B.Jenet, taking it 3-2 over DELTARMENTA, and they're going to be heading over to losers semis.
Good gracious. SoSickNASHFAN, honestly, for a 3-2 victory, got a little too
So he goes to that approach, but he wants to get his damage in early. And how much is Supergrenas willing to risk to chase down the little ninja boy that is Hokutomaru?
Absolutely, and chase down we will already. He's in that back elbow, but that jump in, Yurikov will respond just in time here. Supergrenas leading off the knee.
Yeah, there's a life lead Supergrenas likes to play with right there, continuing to pour it on the 2T conversion into the Rekka series.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
This time, maybe issues still abound? Oh no.
Yurikov is somewhere with his hand on his forehead saying, "This is why I don't play online tournaments."
Oh no! I'm sincerely hoping that connection issues aren't the main lead-off in this game, or really just a set in the first place. Get back into it, but backstep shuriken. Close the gap, and for Supergrenas does so. Misses on the uppercut though. Just defense into the back elbow from Yurikov in response.
Oh, big whip punish there with the sweep. Gonna get the OTG off of that one. Looking for the back dash 2C. No one home on that one, but getting the jump in over the projectile. This one's gonna hurt big time for Supergrenas.
Absolutely. Get the ignition. Big fireball. And for Supergrenas, try the wake-up knee option. But for Yurikov, red through, jump in, back into another win here.
Yeah, and those were the options we were talking about that Preecha has a hard time dealing with, that hang time and the teleport right there. Yurikov taking full advantage of it early. Supergrenas trying to jump back in, but the guard cancel from Yurikov. They get themselves a small life lead here. Both players with the ignition gear on deck.
The uppercut again. Able to push back just a little bit here, especially off the closing the gap in the twister. Kicks from Yurikov. Full side swap. They tried the cross up, but Supergrenas gets that throw.
Coming in with the rev blow, and good old netcode giving us some issues again, but we'll see if the players play on it. 1 round apiece currently, turning to the fireball. BG play on. I like the call from both players. The cross up, wild punish from the side of Yurikov. Trying to get the damage in and end this thing as early as possible.
Get the just defense. Now the jump in, double. Back turn 2 from the kicks. Now for Supergrenas. Full committal. At least the Rekka combo. Get the ignition. Gun.
Yeah, there's Supergrenas again breaking down the Rekka to find the 2C on top of it. This time following through with the juggle. Has the ignition gear. Gonna spend it. Not enough to kill here. One more guess, and it is gonna be a throw to close it out. Supergrenas up 1-0 on Yurikov.
Again, smart neutral jump. Big throw from Yurikov, but throw in turn from Supergrenas. And now, leading it 1-0 here in our winners finals.
All right, well, from what we saw thus far, Supergrenas able to get its damage in.
1-0 here off the Preecha.
Get ready. Fight.
Let's see how Yurikov chooses to go with the approach here. We're going to open up back dash, turn to the shuriken early. There's the patent hit early red blow from the side of Supergrenas. So nice, we'll show it twice.
Of course, double just defense. Now we're trying to play an imitation game, but straight up we have the shuriken counteracting twister. Now from the air-to-air game, Supergrenas, honestly, getting in good damage.
Supergrenas also showing the back dash early here to get away from those lows. There's another red blow for the trouble. A neutral jump to get over the throw attempt from Yurikov. Should be enough to build up an ignition gear here. Unfortunately, put themselves in overheat, but a massive life lead.
And at that, with that overheat, Supergrenas doing just a bit of a burn of damage, at least for now though, but overheat for overheat right now. Yurikov, full risk and exposure, but off the shuriken, trade out in damage. Now just spamming shurikens against twisters.
It seemed like Yurikov right there was just trying to fish for that guard break, mashing out the lights against Supergrenas. Now has to worry about a guard crush of their own. Just one hit away, cannot continue to block, but they find the anti-air into the ignition gear, trying to stay alive long enough to get out of overheat.
But already, I'm running the overhead. They had air from Supergrenas. Now, able to put themselves up one round in a round 2.
Trying to find that 2-0 game lead. Very precious to play with, especially over here in Winners Finals. Didn't catch the anti-air there from the float of Yurikov and busting out with the red blow. Gonna be a full Kuhadan extension into the ignition gear. Actually gonna go the hard knockdown route. Not gonna take Supergrenas out of SPG just yet.
Just keeping it in the air a little longer and really trying to pressure against Supergrenas, whatever throw they might have had ready. Even then, triple gut check. Oh no, okay. I got a little scared there, saw a little bit more of lag, but that's fine. We keep it up off the shurikens.
Going back to the shuriken here. Apparently the connection's not bad enough. Supergrenas able to get these JDs in on the shuriken, so see how it goes on forward. Getting the full Rekka series into the ignition gear. Not gonna be enough to take Yurikov out of SPG just yet.
Absolutely not. But still, full gun, the upper. But the ignition to hit Supergrenas. And now staying this guy a little longer. Air to air again from Yurikov. Now one, stand heavy, just defense into it, trying to rev blow. Nothing just yet. Pressure off chip.
Oh, great call to hang in the air there. Supergrenas trying to use the rev guard to, cover all the options, but unfortunately trying to anti-air. Yurikov would have just stalled out a little bit enough to find that last hit, close out the round.
Already get the twisters. And now good for the shurikens on top of that. Now, Yurikov playing that patient game. The shuriken, just defense. Good calculation going in off of Supergrenas neutral jump.
Coming right back in, but the JD's on point from Supergrenas this far, just building up that health little by little with them. Doing the JD with 2C as well, just from the side of Hokutomaru. Getting good kills with Hokutomaru, that red blow, able to get the full extension off of it. So we go directly into the hitting gear. I suspect they will after going into the overheat. Full animation coming up in a brand new gauge for Yurikov.
Absolutely, for Yurikov. Honestly, full advantage of this after the fact that for Supergrenas, the amount of health you lose off of that in the first place, devastating. In one fashion at that one, air to air, but no damage found on the connect from that back elbow either. Twister close that gap, but still jump over shuriken, gonna put you through a combo loop again.
Not gonna have enough to kill, but looking for the hard knockdown here. One more interaction is all Yurikov is gonna need to close this out and tie things one apiece. Supergrenas though sitting on a fully loaded gun with 2 bars of super.
Oh.
They're gonna go ahead and pull the red line here to try to get through the shuriken. It's not quick enough, and Yurikov getting the quick punish. 1 game apiece.
I saw the idea, but the execution after the fact, that's super unfortunate. Was expecting it fully. I mean, that shuriken, there's only a small window to punish after that, if I remember correctly. And still for Yurikov, full denial. And now 1-1 here in our games.
Round 1.
All right, Yurikov turning it into a scramble, making it work out this far. Supergrenas defense has been on point, but not enough to weather the storm in game number 2.
Uh-oh. That just defense. No punch, but twister. Get you through your troubles. Good execution coming in from the shuriken, the run up too. And now, just defense. Counter hit into it from Supergrenas.
The full extension there, hard knockdown with the rev blow. Gets a throw on top of it, 50% down already for Yurikov. It's so nice, we'll show it twice.
Off the jump in, baits out the throw. And Supergrenas still responded turret off the red.
Yeah, these neutral jumps have been such a good call for players all night long just to bait out these throws and get so much off of a jump heavy in that situation. You're going to figure the most of it. Yurikov though starting off the great anti-air cruiser down extension to get over into the corner.
Of course, getting with the big twister. They get Supergrenas to jump over, stay in the sky a little longer. And now, Yurikov fall through just defense though. Now, try it again off the shurikens.
We're just trying to play the distance game here. Massive life deficit, trying to run back in. Strange interaction there. Yurikov able to corpse hop and get the side switch back to neutral.
Back elbow, but a back heel turn instead. And now, full Rekka, gonna get it from Supergrenas right now. Pop the ignition, full gun again into the forward throw.
They're continuing to get these throws, and Yurikov in the middle of staggering up their offense. There's the high dodge from Yurikov. Does have the ignition gear. Should be enough to kill if they choose to spend.
Now try it again. The overhead. Counter hit pressure going into the gut check from Supergrenas right now. Now full combo confirm again. And against Yurikov. Ignition hit.
And it tells Yurikov, if you won't spend it, I will. Just one interaction left for both players right here. JD and the Shurikens. Oh, but running in to see the GOAT's gonna find their home. Yurikov tying it up 1 round apiece here in game 3.
Final round. 1-1. SPG available. But try to jump in. No switch up. Try and bait. But Shurikens maybe expecting a read into it. Nothing found. Just defense though. And finally Yurikov able to get a little bit of lead here off the rev combo.
Able to juggle with the Kuhadan there, cashing out with the ignition gear. Does have another stick of butter on deck. Supergrenas able to escape the corner though. No one home on the rev blow, but we're just gonna bust right out. There's no turns if I don't want them to happen. Supergrenas looking for a DP as well. This should be enough to close out the round. Yurikov with the 2-1 lead over Supergrenas.
Okay, connection issues be damned. Yurikov saying, hey, this can work out for me as best as possible. 2-1 against Supergrenas, and now Supergrenas trying to find something off the twisters, but not just staying in the air no longer than need be.
Coming right back in with the Rekka series. Continuing to look to the rev blow, but you gotta watch the gauge of your Supergrenas up 70% early here. Yurikov unfortunately taking their foot off the gas, letting them breathe. Getting the throw with Supergrenas. We've seen it land from a lot.
Uh-oh. Now, forward throw, catch you out of the sky. Twister again off a wake up, but Yurikov wisens up to it, gets it just defense, and now the step back, but that air-to-air damage from Supergrenas is a little bit too much of a punch.
Still healthy inside SPG as well as Supergrenas. Sitting with that bar of super on deck, looking for the hang time. This time it's going to find its home with a jump into Yurikov. No full conversion off of it, but we're just going to keep on throwing Supergrenas into the blender, like confirmed, into the ignition gear, and again taking to the skies and having all the answers is Yurikov.
Absolutely. And for Yurikov right now, just trying to keep the pressure up, but Supergrenas wake up wild punish. Back elbow once, twice, damn near a third time. But for Yurikov, trying to push it, trying to keep him cross distance and close the gap with double just defense.
Be careful on the question as well. The red gauge up high for both players right there. Supergrenas able to give himself a counter hit into the Rekka series. Does have 2 bars of super. We're going to go directly into the red line gear. Might be enough to kill here.
That kills. Ah! Nasty work.
Get ready. Fight SPG.
Right, Supergrenas trying to tie things up 2 game apiece here. Both players putting the SPG up front. Unfortunately, we haven't seen too many counter rev blows from either side. Supergrenas has been forcing the issue a lot though. It's the juggle here with the Rekka series and the hard knockdown.
Absolutely, but wake up ignition. Now against Supergrenas. Not that much damage, but should be effective enough to just get something, anything started. JD's all abound. And now off the jump in, Supergrenas. Jump just straight into damage. Good punish off the uppercut.
Able to recognize it barely inside of SPG is Supergrenas. Blocking out the super this time. Gonna get a full punish directly into the ignition gear. And overheat. Gotta watch your guard. Yurikov taking advantage of it.
And then Yurikov off the run-up, jump in, trying to grab. And Supergrenas, and that overheat in corner, not the best position you want to find yourself in at all. Double JD, counter hit. Also, if you want to top it off, Ignition just might be the spot here. With that overheat, gonna work out still.
Enough to close it out in the scramble. Yurikov now on set point and on the verge of sending themselves over to grand finals.
Absolutely. Close the gap again. Into the game, try to jump in. Set back elbow, back heel turn. Rekka.
Alright, ignition gear early out of SPG, 50% down as well. Yurikov in a bad spot here. Coming right back in with the red blow is Supergrenas, but slowly just looking for these lights as Yurikov over and over and over. We go back to full screen and another red blow from Supergrenas.
The uppercut and baits out the back elbow, but from Supergrenas. Try the upper again. That air-to-air not allowing Yurikov to even breathe. That ignition not going to work out. Forces Supergrenas into overheat. Does not matter. Fireball meet fist here. Supergrenas ties it 2-2.
Understandable call with your back against the wall. You just try to do everything you can to make sure that you can go ahead and close out the set as early as possible. Unfortunately, Supergrenas holding the door open for just a little bit longer. We'll be heading to a final game here with grand finals on the line.
Just have to think again. maybe.
Thank you very much for showing up, but let's get over to loser semis. As you pointed out, RINO and SoSickNASHFAN. SoSickNASHFAN choosing to stick with the B.Jenet against the character like Hokutomaru. You know, that plays out for him long term, but having a nice opening thus far.
And already, hit that Shuriken though, just defense in the air, smart enough to read through it, and full counter clampback action against RINO here. SoSickNASHFAN, a little bit of health for it, but definitely worth it, especially the jump over Shuriken.
Jumping in with the air red blow, able to get more corner carry. Pointed out before, B.Jenet surprisingly has very good corner carry, almost going coast to coast there. Getting the grab. A little low on life here. JD to get it back, just mashing out the lights is going to work out for him though.
Absolutely. The crouch hit. But he back stands. Triple Shuriken. Good just defense again, twice in a row. There's SoSickNASHFAN tried to twist it. RINO. Good jump in off the combo. Side swap action.
SoSickNASHFAN playing with this good lead here, continuing to go to the backdash, just making RINO have to come to him. Says I'll JD these air fireballs, or excuse me, these shurikens all day long.
Ready? But I jump in, try to back elbow into the chops. Now another JD off the Shuriken. For RINO, trying to close the gap, but against SoSickNASHFAN, it would be a little dangerous here.
I guess the corner air to air there for RINO, going over the top off the easy. Gotta watch the time down to the last 7 seconds. Not going to be enough to kill, but this deficit might be too much to close out in this last 5 seconds. RINO's got to chase down SoSickNASHFAN in the situation, continuing to go to the skies. The backdash blowing all the kisses at him. Enough to kill the clock. That's going to be a timeout for SoSickNASHFAN.
Dang, just SoSickNASHFAN playing the time. RINO didn't watch it in time. No pun intended either on that. Now already 1 round up. Good sky hit though. Anti-air into the Shuriken.
Back to neutral we go. It's a tough spot for RINO in the situation. He seems like he's almost kind of tentative to approach in the situation. Has a good life lead on him, but gotta force the issue because you know SoSickNASHFAN will another air rev blow. We're gonna pick up a combo here in the corner.
And already, the combo, overhead, hit it twice off the rev blow in turn. Just casual 21 hits, nothing too serious. Damn near 30 in turn. And for RINO, all your health gone just like that. The SoSickNASHFAN doesn't even need a perfect. Get the ignition guaranteed. And 1-0 so far in our rounds.
All right, looking solid thus far. Spread the wings. I'm not sure if the color is a reference, but I do like it. It's one of my favorite parts about commentating City of Wolves. It's always guess the color. You gotta figure out what the reference is.
I'm saying you just gotta sit there. I'm saying, actually, hold on, I never noticed. Oh god, I still get PTSD off of Dark Phoenix. Oh no. Already?
Alright.
Uh-oh.
Staggering their offense in is SoSickNASHFAN. Slowly trying to walk RINO down to the corner here. Been seeing a lot of backdashes from SoSickNASHFAN trying to catch a whiff here. A little B&B into the corner. Just enough to take RINO out of SPG as well.
I'm saying, SoSickNASHFAN super walk right up into it. RINO just trying to jab out the pressure, but back-to-back just defense is still not enough here. You get the rush damage for SoSickNASHFAN. Still off the walk up, able to get the jump up, counter hit, back splat against the wall here.
Not gonna be enough to build up the Super 2. Should be able to cash out here for the W if they're so inclined. That's not the ignition here, yes sir. SoSickNASHFAN on the verge of going up 2-0 on RINO.
Ready. Rounds. Possibly 2-0, at least RINO now trying to figure it out. Get the guitar mix that we love to see time and time again, but that throw still gets punished. SoSickNASHFAN follows through off the combo mixer in the red.
Just so much corner carry right when you don't believe the combo keeps on going. SoSickNASHFAN earned some Marvel stuff right here, but whipping the rev blow, RINO not able to get a massive punish off of that and answering right back with her rev blow with SoSickNASHFAN.
And absolutely tried the anti-air for SoSickNASHFAN. RINO still able to get the side swap. Doesn't even matter though. If you're ending this with an ignition, now's the time to do so, especially after red.
And it's enough to kill SoSickNASHFAN, taking a commanding 2 lead over RINO. And reminder to the folks at home, because of the Yurikov DQ, this becomes your brand new losers finals. Winner of this one is going to be going all the way to grands against Supergrenas.
Just a straight shot into it. And honestly, now's the time for do or die if you are RINO against SoSickNASHFAN right now, who honestly have been playing out of their mind some scary work. Now the B.Jenet plays a little too well. Get the rev schmicks up. And now against RINO, able to jump back out off counter hit, but it needs the JD.
Yeah, kind of amazing how no matter how long this game is out, double rev blow just seems to continue to be something that throws people off. SoSickNASHFAN able to make it work in that situation, continuing to pour on the pressure here. Has the ignition here, gonna go for the cash out and the corner carry.
And RINO can't expect anything but that crush chop from SoSickNASHFAN. To put you through your paces, and already here on set point.
They're just one round away from going to grand finals here, opening things up with the throw. RINO into the corner, so nice, we'll show it twice. You heard the beginning of the rev blow right there. SoSickNASHFAN turning B.Jenet into a grappler, going off the easy with it. Full confirm should be enough to build up an ignition gear. Piling on the damage now, my lord.
Oh my god, SoSickNASHFAN not even letting up. You end up with the ignition and butterfly in the sky. RINO can go twice as high, fall twice as hard for a perfect game from SoSickNASHFAN, marketing their way straight into grand finals.
Putting an exclamation point on the end of that sentence. Unfortunately, the end of the road for RINO. It'll be a 4th place finish, but SoSickNASHFAN get into it.
All right, get started here. Right now, SoSickNASHFAN would have to get a full reset and then try to win after the fact. Supergrenas, not even that much to really try to play through. It could be wraps from there. I say that though, already trying to stand punch, uppercut, immediate counter hit coming into it from NASHFAN.
This might have been the first time we've seen someone just straight up react to Supergrenas' red blow just all night. SoSickNASHFAN getting a little bit of a juggle, just not going to be enough to go ahead and take Supergrenas out of SPGs. The game did not work out for him there, but once again, playing with the life lead, and we've seen SoSickNASHFAN get this massive life lead and then just start backdashing on people.
Well, absolutely. We've seen it time and time again, but this time is the most important question. And already, double just defense, that back elbow, that kill turn, for that Preecha combo, and against SoSickNASHFAN, want to completely obliterate not only health, but any possibility. SPG.
There's that fireball setup we were talking about. Looking for the dive kick with SoSickNASHFAN. Supergrenas to find their combo route there. Puts themselves into the corner. A good situation if SoSickNASHFAN gets sniped out of the side. Gonna get the juggle off. It does have the ignition gear if they choose to close it out. Not gonna need it. Oh, goes to the knockdown.
I'm not gonna lie, Non-Factor. I need to talk to you about how, I want to say calculated that was. Goes for the twister, SoSickNASHFAN, full jump over, Supergrenas manages to get the juggle off the calculation, just jump, insane work. Now already, SoSickNASHFAN starting to the brunt, the combo again, get the double knee bomber, and now full ignition activation for Supergrenas.
Play with that life lead Supergrenas loves to play with, and this time actually sticking on SoSickNASHFAN, not giving up the corner and going to the fireball game. Look at the full juggle combo here. SoSickNASHFAN in a bad spot.
Try to grab, does not work out. Even then, Supergrenas gets a perfect game, leading in the first win of the set here against SoSickNASHFAN.
Round 1.
All right, and NASHFAN gonna go ahead and rock with the B.Jenet. No character swap necessary just yet.
Ready? Combo again. SoSickNASHFAN. They're just trying to find any option. Able to protect against the throw. Now, double uppercut into that air-to-air action. Double, triple just defense in the good punish here.
Yeah, but right back into the corner goes SoSickNASHFAN. Supergrenas just one thing on their mind. We don't really see too much from them because they are kind of a, methodical player, but the offense continuing to come in, looking for the neutral jump there, but SoSickNASHFAN able to snuff it out. And Supergrenas into the corner.
Already? SoSickNASHFAN. So watch yourself here. But still for Supergrenas, I should something too soon. Caught in the corner. And now for SoSickNASHFAN. 15 hit piece, get the ignition switch. Also leading to more here. Not gonna kill, but now you have to figure out the corner situation. Supergrenas caught pressing. And now for SoSickNASHFAN, we'll get one round.
SoSickNASHFAN slowly cracking the code here. Sticking their guns with the B.Jenet, working out for them thus far, finding themselves around. Guard cancel into the rev blow, not able to get anything else off of that, but the wake up DP from the side of Supergrenas.
Absolutely. Still, punch into it. Slow motion for me, I say. And at least for Supergrenas, able to get that enter. Gun again, off the big punch. Now for SoSickNASHFAN, off the back elbow, double just defense, triple, guard cancel punish. Now good counter hit.
Yeah, the JDs and the guard cancels have been on point for the record series for SoSickNASHFAN though. Supergrenas also being on point with their anti-airs, getting the juggle here into the ignition gear. One more guess, gets the throw. All she wrote, Supergrenas tie things up one round apiece.
Neutral jump, expecting the punch and able to guarantee the throw there for Supergrenas. SoSickNASHFAN. Honestly, I'm playing the food and that's fine. Get the dance around with it. We'll just defend. Coming into it. Off the twisters. And now, back turn combo again.
Setting up the save jump on that one. SoSickNASHFAN not biting. It's another guard cancel though to get themselves out of the corner and baits out a DP. Gonna be a massive amount of damage here for SoSickNASHFAN. Sitting on 2 bars of super.
We're already just back in the corner again. Now look to help for Supergrenas. If you are SoSickNASHFAN, doesn't matter. 32 hit piece. The amount of health that is gone after that. Insane. Neutral jump baits the throw. And now another guaranteed combo. You want to end this with ignition? Do so, please. And power of prediction works out here for SoSickNASHFAN. 1-1.
I mean, it's just been fire versus fire, offense versus offense thus far. Both players just immediately coming in, just getting in their damage and continuing to pour it on. No one's really giving up space here, Ash.
I'm saying, this is just full-on aggression versus full-on, like, okay, to explain it better, Hydrogen Bomb versus Hydrogen Bomb with some flowers attached, but that's totally fine here. I mean, SoSickNASHFAN, advantage. And now, trying to get the counter, but for Supergrenas, not exactly invincible as you'd really think here.
SoSickNASHFAN putting themselves into overheat. Bit of a precarious decision there, but it's going to work out for him. Finds the counter hit, not able to get anything off of it. Supergrenas might smell blood in the water here. Trying to get SoSickNASHFAN out of SPG. Baits out a DP there. Going to be a lot of damage coming in with the ignition gear.
I mean, already, this is as best as possible. Back elbow. SoSickNASHFAN risking the overheat. Supergrenas getting close to it, but a counter hit. Forward throw. Obviously not going to be enough to kill here, but we have to jump in. Elbow ignition off wake up. Still good enough for SoSickNASHFAN.
And we got ourselves a heavyweight bout here. They are 100% just slugging each other. SoSickNASHFAN trying to get this 2-1 lead here in grand finals. Reblo going to open that up for him. Supergrenas head to the corner.
Ready? That ignition. Get the jabs from hell, stilettos, palms in the club, and right to the chest here, I will say, from SoSickNASHFAN. Now you want Supergrenas, trying to find something, anything still. Let's put through a combo loop of hell, might I add here, especially after wake up.
Also able to escape the corner when they put themselves into it. Supergrenas, though, not leaving there with nothing. Has the ignition gear, chooses to cash out for the damage. Almost 50% down now for SoSickNASHFAN, but the JDs continue to be on point.
I'm saying, and Supergrenas still able to get the throw, the twister off of wake up, and SoSickNASHFAN. JD against all of them except the throw. Can't find the tech, but where there's throw for throw, word for word, bar for bar, JD for JD here. And now if you are Supergrenas, put in a patient game, find the twister, jump in from SoSickNASHFAN. And honestly, wild enough, guaranteed kill.
That's a great time jumped in over the fireball for SoSickNASHFAN. Both players finding their openings, pretty well, but SoSickNASHFAN is just the damage of B.Jenet is on full display here.
And I'm saying, twister again. SoSickNASHFAN, if you are Supergrenas though, it is getting scarily close to reset. And still, forward throw, another JD back in the corner.
Yeah, giving him some space there. It's the first time we've really seen that from SoSickNASHFAN. Both players were kind of sticking on each other when they went ahead and got the corner, but trying to play the space here. Looking for a fireball to jump over, perhaps.
And already, get that throw. Not just yet, excuse me, twister. Just trying to jump in, twister again, but the JD out in full force.
I love the way SoSickNASHFAN just changing gears here. No pun intended, but just changing the speed of the game thus far, getting themselves a little life lead and kind of just beckoning Supergrenas to go ahead and come right to him. But Supergrenas is going to do them the favor and find the jump in on top of it. Should be enough to build up the ignition gear here and cash out with the damage. Yes, sir.
Saying, you want me to come forward? All right, bet, says Supergrenas, and I imagine SoSickNASHFAN might be regretting it a little much here, as able to get one round, and Supergrenas opportunity to put this 2-2 next round.
There's going to be any opening that presents itself for Supergrenas again. SoSickNASHFAN going back to full screen, just changing the pace once again. The jump scare Supergrenas in that situation, but the jump back button going to put Supergrenas in a small life lead here.
Get scary with it. Just watch yourself, especially after twisters, but just defense. Get the solar plexus elbow check. Nasty work coming into it right now. SoSickNASHFAN for Supergrenas, full force of the ignition into the sky.
55% down now. The neutral jump showing its face once again. It's been the demon for these players all tournament long. that should be all she wrote. SoSickNASHFAN on the verge of a grand finals reset.
Uh-oh. And if you are Supergrenas, I mean, obviously now is not the time for do or die, but if you want to keep a lead here, honestly take this home full stop, now's the time to do it, put it 2-2. But now, playing a neutral game. Watch out for the pedals. Watch out for the twister, able to catch you in the sky, though. Good anti-air.
Oh, and the taunt from SoSickNASHFAN. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Not like this.
Nah.
Oh, okay. I got so scared.
We're good. We're back.
I think
the taunt slowed down the game. The game didn't know what to do.
Okay,
we never
that's
see
fine.
It.
Don't worry, chat. We're fine for now. Safe. Hopefully. I say that. The air coming in from SoSickNASHFAN, just defense, side swap, back chops right to the chest, the uppercut. I was a little scared. Doesn't get as punished as I initially thought. Supergrenas still alive and still able to get with the forward throw. Make it twice.
It's continuing to sneak in these throws here. SoSickNASHFAN trying to work right to the corner, but another fadeaway button's gonna find its home for Supergrenas. Still letting those the red blows rock.
Obviously, get the Lily's vert, just want to let it rock. That's fine with me. And now, good punish and into hidden gear.
Big time damage here as well as resetting some of the gauge. It was actually the red line gear. Not gonna get the full animation on top of that one. Coming in with the red blow once again though. Gotta be careful putting themselves in overheat. But the red blow is gonna anti-air. SoSickNASHFAN tying it up 2-2 is Supergrenas.
Round 1.
Not gonna lie, I got a little scared there because I'm like, okay, hidden? No. Red line? Yes. So my apologies on that one. Sorry for hyping anyone in chat up to that in the first place. But already, SoSickNASHFAN, the throw, JD unlocked though.
Yeah, as you're pointing, the hidden gear, puzzling decision not to go for it to reset the rev gauge, but either way, gonna work out for Supergrenas. Sure, we were all expecting the full animation on that one. We're gonna get right back into it. SoSickNASHFAN with a small lead here. Supergrenas trying to hold on to that SPG, using the air rev blow to try to bait something out there, but a wild punish landing for SoSickNASHFAN.
Already a jump in. It's guy. But no, rev blow to hit you for SoSickNASHFAN. Good chunk of damage, but this is on that. Tried it once, twice, maybe second time. But for Supergrenas, keeping up the defense, that neutral jump out of corner, trying to throw, but still punish off of SoSick for me.
And now SoSickNASHFAN going back to the tap dancing here, just daring Supergrenas to come in, but last time we saw that it worked out for Supergrenas, was able to find the jump in there, slowly giving up real estate is SoSickNASHFAN here.
Same, find the twister, close the gap here, and SoSickNASHFAN very privy to not wanting to play too much in the corner here. Supergrenas, I imagine the full brunt of this. If this ends ignition, yeah, this is dead.
Well, he dared Supergrenas to make a move, ended up going for the DP, not working out from there, and SoSickNASHFAN on the verge again of a grand finals reset. If Supergrenas has anything to say about it.
About to say, Supergrenas wanted to stop this in its tracks as best as possible. For SoSickNASHFAN, though, wanting to get the full reset. SPG is just right there, but the just defense might not be enough forward throw out of rev blow.
Just staggering these things over and over, taking a turn back. Does have an ignition gear here. We've seen B.Jenet hit like a truck.
Oh my god, I think this might be dead.
Oh, one more guess is all it's going to need for the reset here. DP break from Supergrenas, sitting on 2 bars of their own, has enough to turn the tide here. Going to cash out some damage to get SoSickNASHFAN out of an SPG.
Just watch the wake up, watch the pedals, and watch the twister more so in turn. Honestly, I would not be surprised this ends on a wild punish overhead. SoSickNASHFAN getting the reset.
Yeah, as advertised, as close as you can possibly get it. I saw someone mention in chat, these two are forging quite a rivalry against each other. It is just building another chapter today. SoSickNASHFAN with the reset. Now it's going to be a good old-fashioned first to 3.
Okay, just gotta sit here, gotta breathe. The reset, honestly shake the nerves out, that's fine. If you are Supergrenas, you came that close. Honestly, a reset should not deter you this badly.
Round 1. Get ready.
Supergrenas chooses to handle it. They were pretty even as things were going. Gets the air-to-air there. SoSickNASHFAN giving up real estate. Trying to anti-air and sneaks in another throw.
You know, ready? Tried it. Supergrenas punished for it, especially off the upper kicks. For SoSickNASHFAN, complete jump over and reversal of the uppercut from Supergrenas. Another break. And honestly, guaranteed combo that I wouldn't be surprised leads to another ignition.
So they build the meter there. Gonna just take the knockdown of the situation, but next one's gonna be enough to kill. They go with another red blow. Trying to catch Supergrenas, catching buttons, and they will. SoSickNASHFAN getting off to a hot start here in the reset.
Okay, so from what I'm seeing, SoSickNASHFAN possibility might have entered the B.Jenet flow state that we really love but also hate to see. I might have spoken too soon though. Get that wall bounce off the uppercut from Supergrenas. Ignition, flow state for Preecha.
Right back in, playing with a good lead, but a whiff punish there off of the rev blow, but Supergrenas, not to be deterred here, gonna go right back to the whale. Get some corner carry here, and neutral jump gonna find its home. Could be enough to build up a bar of super. Might not even needed here. Supergrenas striking back with a vengeance.
Can only hope that's a 14-hit piece, no biscuit, no drink included. All chicken. And now if you want, Supergrenas, one round up here. Get that crouch punch, try the uppercut and a red blow. But for SoSickNASHFAN, would have got it properly. Now try the air-to-air, no dice.
Oh, JD's back and forth we go. Defensive prowess being shown here. SoSickNASHFAN trying to jump back in, but the invisible reversal from the side of Supergrenas. Flashing out the life as well to carry SoSickNASHFAN all the way to the corner.
Absolutely. Now, to jump in on a neutral. Instead, SoSickNASHFAN pretty enough to just get the wake up. And now, ignition. Stilettos right to the chest again. Get the walk up. Uppercut. Punish, but still for Supergrenas. Not as effective as you'd really like to see here.
We're almost dead even. Another JD in the air. This time Supergrenas is going to catch him on the landing. Does have enough super to go into the hidden gear here. Chooses to go with ignition instead.
Absolutely. And now just back in the corner. SoSickNASHFAN barely able to keep it up. Double just defense. Not good enough to really get out of the throw though.
And Supergrenas answering back once again. No hidden gear. A bit of a precocious situation, but working out for Supergrenas either way. Before we get into our next match, we want to thank Poetry Chef for the $10 donation in the match. RINO, massive shout out to Poetry Chef.
Just appreciating that we brought up to 87.94. Hey, that's enough for multiple back-to-back DoorDash. Non-factor, we thinking Wingstop or maybe some ramen tonight.
Maybe a bit of both. The way this prize pool is kind of claiming, we might have to gorge a little bit. Supergrenas might have some food on the mind the way they're playing right now. Looking solid thus far in the Grand Finals reset.
I was about to say, you want to gorge on some food, gorge on these combos instead, says Supergrenas. And now for SoSickNASHFAN. Honestly, 50% damage here on the board. Now, like punch to put you back in the corner. Back turn elbow. And now with the just defense, jump over the low into the forward throw.
Not needing to commit there, just one hit away in the far D there, and another jump in is going to find its home. Supergrenas trying to just turn up the heat at this point, one round away from taking a 2-0 lead here.
Of course, SPG in. Now round start. Closing the gap here, but the twister jump over the meaty overhead. This from SoSickNASHFAN here against Supergrenas. Full demolishing mid health. 40% gone, even more so. Stilettos to the chest all over again. And you're going to be feeling that for the next couple of weeks here.
Supergrenas answering back with the DP, but SoSickNASHFAN will not be denied. Back to the corner you go. Not enough to build up a super, but it's time to guess if your Supergrenas. Looking right at the corner, the 2C is going to find its home into the Rekka series. See, they spend a little cash.
Of course, get the ignition. Gun again. Off the full power punch. Up for SoSickNASHFAN. The step back. Get the jump in against Supergrenas here. Off the high knee. And now, back in the corner, 1-1 in our rounds though.
We've seen that situation a couple of times where Supergrenas wants to throw the fireball, but just the spacing a bit off. SoSickNASHFAN getting a lot out of that jump angle of B.Jenet. Would work out from there, one round apiece here. SoSickNASHFAN trying to tie things up.
Back turn elbow, get the Rekka combo back on lock. Your Supergrenas looking clean with it. For SoSickNASHFAN, gotta be sick of having to deal with this in the first place. Just right to the face. Forward throw again, keep you back in that corner. Neutral jump expecting the bait. But SoSickNASHFAN privy might end up back there all over again.
Neutral jump's not going to work. Mashing out the 5A is. Dashing out with the ignition gear. It is going to be enough to kill Supergrenas, taking a 2-0 lead over SoSickNASHFAN. And now the question lies, do we see a character swap with the tournament on the line?
Round one.
No,
we're not.
No character swap.
Fight SPG.
I was fully expecting it, but I guess not.
I was looking for a counter pick of some kind, but SoSickNASHFAN has been finding magic with B.Jenet, so see if he can pull another rabbit out of the hat in the situation. Down 2-0 in the Grand Finals reset, but a great start thus far this round.
Tried to throw again, and Supergrenas feeling the brunt of that. SoSickNASHFAN got the jump over. Now, get the rev rush. To the knee again, but reversal from Supergrenas, at least for now. Double just defense. Now I'm gonna watch yourself for this frame trap that can really get nasty with it.
SoSickNASHFAN taking a page out of Supergrenas' book with these neutral jumps, unfortunately not finding their home. Now an overheated SoSickNASHFAN getting the back throw. Supergrenas going off the easy with it. Does have some super on deck. They want to try to mount this comeback.
SoSickNASHFAN, the damage again. Get the rush combo. Supergrenas now just playing that shimmy game. Not able to block the wake up ignition. And SoSickNASHFAN, opportunity to try and claw their way back to maybe 2-2 here.
That was such an amazing and ballsy call from SoSickNASHFAN to go with the ignition gear there. They might be the size of Texas, but it's going to work out for SoSickNASHFAN, just staggering their offense over and over. Supergrenas stuck in the corner, but getting out as soon as I say that.
Uh-oh. Okay. I saw that too. I know we all saw that, but full ignoring. Go into one throw, make that a second throw here against SoSickNASHFAN. Trying for a third one, but no, instead, back turn elbow and trying to jump out, but Supergrenas, a little more space to SoSickNASHFAN.
Seems like they might be trying to bait a reversal from the side of SoSickNASHFAN, but defense still on point. These players are neck and neck as far as life is concerned. Slowly giving up real estate though with Supergrenas jumping right back in, trying to get a jump scare, but gets the throw.
Throw again, neutral jump, straight into it. You can find something, anything if you're a SoSickNASHFAN. Let's try to punish out of it. It is getting scary. Watch out for the twisters. And now the feint, just straight walk up. Okay, we getting this taunty with it, understandable.
Gotta watch the clock as well. 20 seconds on the clock here. SoSickNASHFAN has a lot of meter to work with. Building it up for a couple here. Just a little light confirmed. 15 seconds on the clock.
If you are Supergrenas, you have a life lead, but SoSickNASHFAN, now I will say do or die. You want to watch yourself because we're damn near. Set point for Supergrenas. They take this. It might be over. Supergrenas confirm into the ignition gear. And now on set point to take this whole thing home.
The adaptation of both players has been just absolutely astounding. It's been neck and neck, even with a 2-0 lead. Still getting as close as they come here. SoSickNASHFAN trying to fight for his tournament life, and Supergrenas wanting to close this entire thing out. Giving up some real estate here, and SoSickNASHFAN is not in a rush to push the pedal to the metal.
Absolutely not. Go for the twister instead. Now the just defense once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times from SoSickNASHFAN. Keeping up as best as possible, but you want a nasty overhead. Walk up, run in, into the back heels. It's going to have to work out for you in turn.
The second offense again. Supergrenas just jumping back here, playing comfortable. No life lead though, so they have to come in at some point, double dash in. And SoSickNASHFAN just beckoning them again to make a mistake.
And I'm saying, SoSickNASHFAN, you're gonna get ballsy with lots of time to do so, or maybe not. Supergrenas reading right through it, Rekka combo. And now, back into the corner, ignition gear, full gun punch. And now, jump in, forward throw.
Goes for the empty jump low that time, does have the ignition gear in the pocket, has a lot of meter to work with. We're Rev excelling all over the place. The empty cash out, is it gonna be enough to kill? And that will close it out. Supergrenas is your fatal fury. 14 champion over here at Paragon.
You love to see it. I mean, hell, it was close with the reset, but SoSickNASHFAN couldn't find anything against Supergrenas. 3-0 sweep. And who would have thought?